Here we go. We are live. Hey, everybody. How you doing, Steve?
Oh, I'm just recording 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast. Typical Thursday night.
My name's Ryan, by the way. I usually say that. We didn't even decide what the first ad was going to be.
No, you just were like, oh, let me load all these cards. And then you're like, let's go.
Let's start with this one. Add to stream. Gibson Explorer Headstock overlay for $250.
Why?
Do you know what this is, Steve?
It's a Gibson Explorer Headstock overlay, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's what it says in the title. But do you know, like, when I saw this, my gut reaction was that this is a piece that you buy and you fit it underneath the bolts on the tuners to fancy up an Epiphone.
Right. I mean, that's kind of what I figure. Or like, you get if you got like a Gibson.
Right.
I mean, is that what it is?
No, I looked up, because I assumed that's what it was. And before, committing to talking to you about it, I looked up a site that sells Gibson headstock overlays. And apparently it's just like a parts thing. Like if you've got a damaged headstock, like you can refurbish it with, overlays that you can buy. And you're just putting down a veneer over, like, say you have a headstock break and it's just completely mangled the headstock, you can fancy it up and make it look clean again.
But here's the thing, right? As I'm looking at this and like, I've got a Gibson, you've got a Gibson. What color is your headstock?
Black.
Yeah. What color is this overlay?
It's kind of like an unfinished grayish wood.
Yeah. I mean, it probably is black, but it's definitely a matte.
Right. Well, like, I think it's intended as a part. Like, so I don't think it's meant to be what my gut reaction was, just to, put it over something cheaper and fancy it up and make it look like it's a Gibson. I think it is a part. Like you buy this, you permanently affix it to the headstock via glue after removing the previous Gibson finish and marks. And then you put a gloss over this to make it black, to make it shine.
Right. And it's probably, like you said, it's a veneer, it's wood.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like thinking about it like, yeah, you can make this any color you wanted, I guess. But then I just know how bad I am at painting. There's no way that Gibson,
not for you, Steve.
There's no way that Gibson thing is going to survive. Like, unless I clear coat this, maybe a clear coat would make that matte black a lot sharper.
That's what I think the way this is reflecting is because it is just raw wood. If it had a clear coat on it, then it would, get glossy black,
Right.
Or you could hit it with a really dark stain or something like that. It's meant for people to do their thing with it.
Now, what is the stuff on the right side of the screen? Is that stuff that you found?
That's a site that I found that sells this stuff. And I mean, this ad is still kind of ridiculous because this guy wants $250 for this. Yeah. When this site is selling all kinds of Gibson overlays for like $40, $45. I mean, it's in euros, but
sure. Okay. Yeah. So it's like $70 or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. Unless this guy's actually, are these, no, they're all the same one. I was gonna say, maybe this is like 3 different Explorer headstock overlays,
or it's a box just full of them because they're so thin. It's like, oh, you want to buy 100 of them?
Yeah. I've had this box.
Yeah. So apparently this guy bought this as some sort of project part for his stuff.
He bought it as a joke. Joke's on him.
That's right. It was all big funny joke.
Who's this from? Randy Chaplin. Thanks, Randy. I guess.
Thanks, Randy.
No, this is I've seen. I feel like I've seen these before, and
I've never seen them before. That's why I looked it up, because I had no idea. I was just guessing. Sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to tell a fascinating story, I'm sure.
No, I wasn't. That's all I had.
You've seen them before. And that was it.
Yep.
Oh man, it's kind of I'm surprised that I'd never heard of these before or seen them before, because it seems kind of like a no-brainer. It seems like a smart thing.
I mean, I definitely feel like when I've seen them before, they were for what you were describing is
Right.
a properly, you couldn't use the Les Paul one on an Epiphone though, because they don't have
that's
the
where
same headstock shape.
My theory fell completely apart when I saw the Les Paul ones, because a Gibson and an Epiphone Explorer have essentially the same headstock. Maybe they're a little different, but I'm not aware of a difference. But yeah, you couldn't slap a Gibson on an Epiphone shape. Maybe they could make an Epiphone shaped overlay with a Gibson logo on it. Then you got something.
Yeah, I just, this is like, that idea is like everything else to me that, that we've said before. Like, if you got Epiphone money, just own it. Like,
right, totally.
If you have Squire money, just own it. If you build a Partscaster,
own it.
And if you have
don't lease,
huh?
Don't lease it. Don't rent.
Like if you build a Partscaster, like slap your name on the headstock. Be proud of what you built. Like, make a cheap, cheap caster or whatever. Like, or like I am more. I would be fine with throwing the logos of companies that it obviously isn't. Like if you built a Parts Telecaster and slapped a Gibson logo on it, like that's hilarious.
Here's my thought. The Fender version of this, I'm thinking in the direction of something that you can just bolt on underneath the tuners for a cosmetic change. Oh, you got a race car outside.
Oh yeah,
I'd be 100% down for aftermarket colored headstocks. Like not even changing the logo, not restoring anything. Just like, yeah, give me a black Fender headstock and that I can just bolt on there, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Or like a matching, Fiesta red or whatever, some common colors that lots of Fenders come in.
Yeah.
And you can just slap on an overlay and like fix up the look. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Steve,
I got a lot of outside traffic right now. I usually can get away with keeping the window open because my mic's fairly directional, but and it's warm up here. Second story is always warm.
It's warm in the garage right now too. I'm a little sweaty.
Yeah. How much would you pay for this? Like not more than, I can't imagine paying more than like $75.
Yeah, I mean, look at the prices. You can buy them new.
I mean, not even
more out there that even if it's an upcharge because it's a less common shape, like if you absolutely need this for a rebuild, then like I feel like $100 is the max, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but okay, I guess that's Flying V, like the triangle one for like the basic Flying V.
I'm sure the Explorer headstock was on that site. I just didn't look far enough to find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what do you think? What do you think is the max for a part like this? If it like say it's for some Gibson that is got a really obscure headstock, like one of those 80s ones that had like the proto PRS headstock. Say you absolutely need a new veneer for that to restore a guitar, and it's only available from one seller online. What's the max you pay, to restore a guitar that could be worth thousands?
I don't know. I'm still stuck at like 75, maybe 100.
Yeah, because at a certain point, can't you just make it yourself? Like,
well, the question here, the thing here, right, is the idea is that you're getting this because you had a headstock break or whatever, something that mangled it.
Some kind of damage.
My question would be, what is the cost to a reputable guitar shop to just go in, sand down, fill, and repaint?
Well, they still have to replace the inlaid logo.
Right, that's true. So, I mean, in that case, it depends on like how much.
Yeah, and also
how much damage are we talking about here?
Here's my question: is this stuff illegal? It's not coming from Gibson, and they're reproducing the Gibson logo.
Yeah, I don't know.
there might be some legality issues here where, you know, this stuff is overseas. It's got euros on it. Maybe there's a reason for that because they can't sell it here.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a weird.
Maybe the lawyers.
An interesting angle there, Ryan. Well, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did, Steve. So suck it. I thought of it first. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive.
I know.
You have anything else to say about this?
Nah.
Me either.
So what's new, Ryan?
Oh man, lots of stuff is what's new. I teased it last week. I unboxed the Starcaster this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Poo Ninja mentioned that China Mike would love these. I'd love to know China guitar skeptics' take on those things.
On the Starcaster?
On the headstock overlays.
Oh, gotcha.
Because he specializes in like fake Gibsons and stuff like that and whatnot.
Right.
I just today published my video of fixing up my Jazzmaster, my Squire. I finally got around to this project. I put this awful, ugly, so ugly it might be beautiful, but that's up for debate. Anodized green pickguard.
I think it looks pretty cool, actually.
I think it kind of has like this Soviet 80s kind of vibe mixed with like a Ranger Rick kind of like National Forest sort of thing going on. I just feel like I need something to tie it all together to give it a solid theme.
You need a Smokey the Bear, Smokey Bear sticker.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, some kind of graphic or something that'll make people know like, oh, this is a Soviet thing or this is a Forest Ranger thing. Maybe put Yogi on there. I don't know.
There we go.
But beyond just the pickguard, I also put in this Descendant.
Oh, nice.
Here, which is really nice and really smooth. I'm a big fan of it, even though I've only played with it for about a day. I already had the mastery on this guitar. Lambertone sent me 2 pickups, a humbucker for the bridge and their I forget the name of the neck pickup, but it's a single coil low output sort of thing. I also put in these white rollers and a white switchcraft switch. Usually those are black, and I just thought it would kind of like complete the look, you know?
It super pops on that.
It does. Huh?
But were you trying to show me something? I was looking up what Lambertone's pickup model was.
They're all named after coffee drinks, so I wasn't able to pronounce any of them in the video.
Oh, is it the Ristretto?
Yes, that's how you say it. Apparently, Ristretto.
I didn't realize they were all named after coffee drinks.
And the bridge is the Crema.
Yeah, I know that's the real popular humbucker is the Crema.
And then I've got one more new thing that I haven't completely secured yet. Someone over
that thing.
Someone
that thing
asked me if I would sell my Bullet Mustang to them. And I was like, well, it's kind of like a central reference point on the channel. Like I'm always like doing stuff with it and bringing it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's kind of, I wouldn't be able to sell it what it's worth because, you know, functionally, you know, if we had this on the show, we'd be like, oh man, that's mangled. It's not worth new, you know?
Yeah. It's worthless. It's priceless, Ryan.
Priceless. I told him to make me an offer, a little bit of back and forth and figuring out, you know, just shipping. He offered me $375 max, including shipping.
Jeez.
So this is what I'm talking about. My Bullet Mustang that I hand painted a bunch of times is gold with gold and silver stars on it now. It's got a kill switch. I told him I'd have to remove the Noatronic expression system in here, and he was fine with that.
Yeah. So you're gonna do it?
I haven't answered him yet. But I feel like I should. Because I'm planning on trying to get as many of the new Squires in as possible.
Oh, yeah.
In the coming line. And so I want to make space. And with that money, I could buy a fresh one and start over.
That's
I only
true.
took this thing down to wood because I wanted to experiment and see what the wood was like underneath, you know, the paint of a $150 guitar. Now that question's answered, I could start with a fresh one. the same specs, the same everything. I haven't replaced the pickups or anything, and do a cleaner refin job on it. But part of like what's tearing me on this is that whenever I ask my son what his favorite guitar is of mine, this is the one he picks. But it's really, yeah, it's really tough. But it's just because it has the kill switch on it, and he's like, I like to turn it off.
Wow.
So I'm going to answer him tonight after this. If anyone wants to take a vote and say whether or not I should sell it, let me know. But it's a room making thing for me. It's a point where if I replace it eventually because I miss it, I can start from scratch, do a proper refin on it. But then, and also I'd be, pulling in some money, which I need these days. A lot of people need money these days.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, that's the one that I painted. That's the one that I have personal stuff with. But then it's also kind of cool that someone wants it because they've seen it. They want to use it. They want to play it. They want to have this thing because of this, because they like it, or because of its association with the channel or something like that.
Both.
Yeah.
Custom art from a semi-famous guy.
Infamous more than famous, which is a better kind of famous, I think. So that's what I'm wrestling right now. Yeah. You got anything new, dude?
Yeah, I talked about it last week, and I got my shelves up. So
yeah, look at you
back here. I put up some pedals that were. So it's funny is I put them all up, and then I realized like the whole idea was like, oh, I can save all this space where I've been keeping my pedals because I'll put these pedals up. But then I realized most of these pedals were on in boxes.
Oh yeah.
So now I've just got a bunch of empty boxes. But what I was telling Melissa is I can take those boxes. Like I'm a lot more comfortable just taking those boxes and throwing them in like a Rubbermaid bin, and then just taking those and throwing them like in an outdoor storage. Like we have an outdoor storage closet. That's where most of my amps are, is this outdoor storage closet. And like, I just never was comfortable with the idea of putting pedals in boxes out there, because I might want to access those at some point. But putting empty boxes, I don't really care.
Right.
But yeah, I got it all up there. There's both the shelves are full.
At a certain point,
I mean,
it's better to sell things with the box. Like it's easier to sell them. But at a certain point, like when do we just start throwing that away? Like if you don't have storage space for it, maybe it's better to not store them. You could put all the manuals and everything in Ziploc bags and store everything from all the boxes in one box, if you consolidated it.
Right. Well, at least I can put all the boxes in one box for now. And
that's true.
And I just need a container.
You put all the boxes in a big plastic trash bag that you tie a knot in, and then you put it in a Rubbermaid, and then you wrap the opening with saran wrap and duct tape and just completely waterproof this thing, and then you bury it. And it's a time capsule, and you come back in 50 years when you're ready to sell all these pedals.
It's really bothering me that I can't figure out what this gold pedal is right here. Like I'm looking at the monitoring, and I can't figure out what that is. I mean, I could turn around and figure it out.
That's 4 pixels for me, dude. So I don't know.
That's why I don't recognize it. That's the I forget the name of the company, but it's like the Buzz Bomb Boost.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For the what's the shirt? Most average guitar player or something. Below average guitarist.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back into the sake this week. I didn't finish it last.
Oh, nice. I poured myself 3 fingers. And I figured that should last me the show, and if it doesn't last me the show, I shouldn't drink anymore anyway after that. So, yeah, the shelves are cool. I put them up yesterday. It didn't take very long to do it at all. I didn't even have to use power tools.
Your side of the video window is starting to look like a guitar channel.
Yeah,
go figure.
Or a shoes channel.
or half guitars, half shoes. You'd probably, if we switched to being a shoe channel, we'd probably have a lot more subscribers.
I should once this whole thing ends, I should just I'll come over. We'll start doing some bass videos when we can, but we'll kick off every video. Like I'll just talk about whatever shoes I'm wearing.
Get that shoe talking. What do you think about opening back up, Steve, as a podcast? My wife was asking today, like, stuff is starting to open back up. Maybe you and Steve should, podcast in person again soon. Like, what do you think about that?
Is it really? It's not really opening up though. Like, I mean, it's opening up, but it's all opening up with the caveat. So the question is right. Do you want to get together and just wear masks talking to each other for 3 hours?
No. I mean, and that's,
there you go.
Kind of the thing. It's like, yeah, we could, no one's going to stop us. We could podcast in the same room again. But then like, my thought is like, isn't now, it would have been safer for us to do it when everything was, being locked down. It's actually more dangerous for us to do it when everything's being opened up. If we're thinking,
I mean, it's possible
at the bug.
Yeah. It's possible that at this point, both of us are just silent carriers. And as long as we're both silent carrying the same strain, then maybe we're okay.
Anyone.
What's that?
I haven't told anyone. I'm a silent carrier.
God.
I keep my secrets. When this is all over, though, someone just mentioned Cardboard Steve. We should have a burning ceremony. Where you?
Oh my gosh, no! You have to keep Cardboard Steve for the second wave of coronavirus. I don't know. I've got some ideas.
Yeah, I bet you
do. For things that it's offline chat, but but yeah, things that we could do with that. So just send them to you. Send them with you to the next Europe, whatever the next Europe thing is.
Hold them up.
Yeah.
Roll them up real tight and take them to Germany in 2023 when the world opens back up.
Yeah.
You want to, do we need to do a little bit of who gets a cut of the door sort of thing?
Let's do it. Let's pay for these drinks.
Yeah.
This week's episode is brought to you guys by Chase Bliss Audio. Chase Bliss Audio makes Super Rich Steve possible. With their fine line of guitar pedals and their constant support of this program. Chase Bliss Audio makes pedals more creative than you are, and they're way cooler than you are too. Just face it. You
Everyone likes them
measure up to them.
Than you. Everyone thinks about them more than you. Every time you see a Chase Bliss pedal, whether it be online, in person, in your own collection, you should feel insecure. That's the reality of it.
At the core of every Chase Bliss pedal is just a great basic pedal. They all, at least all the ones I've played sound great. All the ones I've heard you demo sound pretty great.
I mean, you want a delay, you want a reverb, you want a simple, easy to understand tremolo. All those things exist.
Tremolo?
Tremolo. All those things exist within the Chase Bliss universe, but then they get Chase Blissified. Yeah. And there's a billion dip switches. There's all kinds of crazy things you can do with the knobs. You can apply MIDI and expression and ramping and bouncing. It never, ever, ever stops. You cannot stop it. While you're asleep, the Chase Bliss pedals are creating music that's better than you could ever dream of.
Yikes.
Without you, it's like
go check them out
sort of situation. The toys, the little elves are down in your workshop playing with your Chase Bliss pedals, making music better than you could ever imagine while you're sleeping. That's Chase Bliss for you.
Yeah, go check them out. ChaseBlissAudio.com, Digital Brain, Analog Heart, no flanges, Chase Bliss Audio.
Don't ask. Someone thought we were joking about that, and they looked it up, and they're like, "Really, no flanger?" And they were like, well, they have this thing called the Spectre. I was like, I know they don't anymore. And they're like, oh, wow. I thought you guys were joking about the flanger.
No jokes. We do not joke around on this program.
It is not a joking podcast. This is a serious information about guitar equipment, fully and purely technical specs podcast. We will never lead you astray. Everything we say is the gospel truth.
Yeah, if you want a good serious podcast, go listen to Serial. That's not a guitar podcast.
It's not, but it probably will be if anyone gets murdered by a guitar.
Yeah.
Or serial murdered by a guitar. That's what it would take. You can't just be murdered. You can't have one murder via guitar. It'd have to be a serial guitar murderer.
A murder of guitars? Is that
not murdering guitars, but serial murdering with guitars, and then you get on serial, and then guitar podcasts will blow up like crazy. Thanks.
If you have a jet black guitar, a bunch of jet black guitars, do you have a murder of guitars?
Because of ravens or crows or whatever?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch. You're probably just a metal head if you got a bunch of black guitars. It's normal stuff. Lots of people have just black guitars.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What's the next topic, Ryan?
A topic. I should pull up the screen grab for the topic. Here we go. Someone posted this. I forget who.
Right, this thing.
It wasn't the person. Yeah, I didn't say who posted it, so I'm so sorry. They posted it to the Facebook group, though. It wasn't this Joshua guy, because that's the guy with the ad.
Yeah. It says, for the listeners on the audio, want to shred. This is a Facebook ad. Want to shred at alarming speeds.
Yes.
That's what I always wanted too. But then I got carpal tunnel syndrome. Ouch.
Oh, carpet tunnel.
I didn't touch the guitar for 2 years. My kids love it when there's a carpet tunnel. When I picked it back up, I had to figure out how to make an hour's worth of progress in 10 minutes. If I played any longer than that, then my wrist would scream in agony and I'd be out of commission for weeks.
But now he plays with alarming speed.
Yeah. This 8-point methodology frees you to make a year's worth of progress in just 60 days. That's just called practicing a lot.
You want 8 points? Here they are right here. That's all you need. 8 points of your hands. The points.
You need a thumb, dude. Can you imagine trying to play guitar with no thumb?
I don't need my thumbs to play guitar just alarmingly fast. That's my pinky right there. That's fifth gear is my pinky. My thumb's just a big old dumb kickstand for my hand. And if I'm really shredding, I don't even need that thing. That thing is hanging loose, because I got my whole arm wrapped around the neck.
Did you watch this video at all?
No, I have no idea who this guy is. I've never seen any of his stuff. I just think the promise of alarming speed, that's a big promise. Like, imagine playing guitar and you start playing so fast that you are not just surprised or impressed by your sudden ability, you're alarmed by it. You're frightened by it. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm playing so fast. I hope I can stop playing. I hope I don't keep getting faster because my arm will just fly off. Like, that's what I think of when I think of alarming speed. There's a little comedy playing in my head that's very funny to me, and it probably doesn't mean anything to anyone else.
I found a review of it on Reddit, and this guy actually bought the course. It's $97 for him. He said it was $97 for the course. I don't know if that's the entire course. Hopefully, that's the entire course. I cannot figure out where it is on this. I found reviews. Where do you just buy it? But basically they said that the first video is find a song that you like, play it at the fastest speed that you can play it cleanly, and then just keep playing it a little faster. Which is like a really good practice, and that's for anybody.
Yes,
but that's also a thing that you can just like go on any guitar forum and be like, hey, what's the thing I can do the most to improve my playing? And people will just be like, get a metronome,
keep turning it up,
quarter note pattern, or play, eighth note patterns at 90 BPM, then play eighth note patterns at 95, and then whatever.
What's the fastest you can even imagine playing, Steve? Like, what's your top limit? Are we talking like 75 miles an hour, or are you like 125 miles an hour?
Do you remember? I'm pretty sure there's some subdivisions in there, but back in your favorite band days, I think the slowest tap tempo we used on when we recorded our EP, whatever thing, was like 190 beats per minute. Well, like I said, I'm sure there's a subdivision in there where it wasn't really 190. It was probably like 95. But I know there was at least one song that we were using. I think it was like, and because I was playing eights or 16ths on bass at like 240 beats. I think it was like eighths. It was probably like 16ths at 120 again, like because there's
punk rock
subdivision, but yeah, very I don't know. I don't think about time.
Yeah,
maybe I should, and that's why I'm not very good, because I don't practice. Actually, the last time I practiced, I talked about this a couple weeks ago that I was going to be playing. Maybe I didn't. I thought I talked about this, playing acoustic guitar at church.
Yeah. You mentioned it to me in person. It was. I thought that was privileged information. Now you're going to tell the world. All right.
Yeah. And I when I was practicing, I tried to practice listening to the track, but the problem is the tracks aren't always in the same key that we're playing. So then I looked at the chart, and the chart had the charts have the speed on it. So I was using my phone to like listen to the tracks, and when I wasn't listening to the tracks, I would just use I have a tap tempo app on my phone that you can use to basically use it as a metronome. So that was like really cool, actually, to do that. And there were some songs where that have like some funky things going on in the vocals in terms of the rhythmic pattern, and I was really fighting the metronome on those. And then ones that were more straightforward, I was like, I don't even need a metronome.
Well, rewinding back to what you were saying, the basic principle of that guy's lessons is pick a song, play it as fast as you can, and then every day play it a little faster. Not everyone's going to pick, an SRV song or a song that scales up.
Yeah.
And, some metal song that scales up into just ripping riffage. What if someone's like picking, like an acoustic ballad? What if someone's picking Paved Paradise, And by the end of the week, they're ripping Paved Paradise at freaking 280 beats a minute, doing some sort of cartoonish run through of a acoustic strummer song. And it used to be a 4-minute song, and now it's 75 seconds or something stupid.
Yeah, so I'm reading further on the Reddit thread, and basically this guy was saying it was $100 to have a guy tell you that if you want to be good at guitar, you have to be disciplined. But I mean, that's how life operates for a lot of people, right? Like you think about like all of these different diet fads or exercise. Like I know people who will pay a personal trainer like $200 a month or whatever, 150, $200 a month, or they pay their gym fee, but all they ever do at the gym is like the elliptical and the treadmill. And it's like, you could just go outside, and they're like, yeah, but if I'm not paying $40 a month for a gym membership, like I'm not going to do it. But as long as I'm paying for it, I'm like, oh, I'm paying for this thing, so I better use it.
Right.
And so it's kind of the same thing.
I had a college professor tell the class once, because I went to graphic design school and whatnot. He was like, you don't need this degree to work in this industry. You don't need to be here in class to build your portfolio. You could sit at home and you could give yourself assignments, and you could complete these assignments by yourself and develop a portfolio, and then you could go get a job. But you're not going to do that because you don't know how to teach yourself how to do that. And that's why you're here paying all this money. And we were all looking at the door like, maybe we should go.
This guy seems a little disgruntled.
Maybe he's right. Maybe we're paying too much money for this. He was right. If I could go back in time, I'd walk out and be like, yeah, I'm not going to pay for this anymore. But yeah, it is that thing where it's like, maybe it didn't occur to you to play Wonderwall at 190 beats a minute or something like that. But now that someone's told you to do it, man, no one else on the block can play Wonderwall as fast as you can. That's for sure. And you know what?
Obviously you want to
completing the song first is the path to being a good musician. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to play it as fast as you can comfortably. So, I mean, if you're playing Wonderwall at 900 beats per minute,
but if you're comfortable doing it,
that's true.
That's true. The goal. You want to be comfortable playing Wonderwall in its entirety, every bridge, every coda, in under 30 seconds. Like that's the goal. And then you are a real musician. Then you are a good guitarist. And now Steve Vai is calling you on the phone. He's like, join me on my next tour. I want to open for you because you beat the record. You played Wonderwall faster than anyone.
One time this guy saw me playing guitar and he's like, can you play Wonderwall at 240 beats per minute? And you know what I said, Ryan?
What?
I said maybe.
Shut up. Clap for Steve, everyone.
I'll be here for like another hour, guys. Tip your waitress. Send us super chats.
Jeez, that was a stiff dad joke right there. I was not ready for that. Next ad, what do you think?
Yeah, let's do the next ad.
What do you think, Steve? How do you feel about California?
Like California Girls, California Love.
I'm talking like Wham Bam Ding Dong, Ding a Dong Doo Doo, California. You know, California. I mean, is there any guitar more Californian than this? Is what I'm wondering.
Is this even what the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo looks like? I feel like it's not.
This is the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo with about a 14 point outline on it, where it's just been blown up into a sand dollar, I suppose. Yeah, the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo is like an asterisk. And this just is a really fat, chubby asterisk that's taken the form of a Les Paul for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I think somebody took a Les Paul.
It's a bolt-on.
You know, when I saw this, I thought somebody took a Les Paul and hacked it up, but
I don't think so. I think this is a woodshop project.
Yeah, it's gotta be, right?
Yeah. Because it's a bolt-on neck, but then the fretboard continues down the body beyond where the bolt-on plate would be. So it's got
I just thought the wood looked good enough for it to be real.
Well, it's real, Steve, but it's not. We don't see a shot of the headstock, and we didn't get a price on it. This was sent in by Mojo Stop Boxes, by the way. So maybe he has more information if he's in the chat or whatever.
Yeah. I got some questions for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
What are some, besides California, can you think of any other locations where you could play this guitar?
No.
I'm thinking if you had this guitar, you could play this guitar under the bridge.
Oh, under the bridge downtown?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had this guitar, you could play this guitar on the other side.
All right.
Those are the only Red Hot Chili Peppers locations that I know.
Yeah. I should have come up with some red hot Chili Peppers jokes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But I didn't.
But you didn't. And as such, we are now here.
This is an interesting thing where it's like, I mean, if you're a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, and you play guitar, then you're probably a John Frusciante fan. Is that how you say his last name?
John Frusciante.
I've always only read it. I've never spoken.
I think I said it right.
If I
said it marginally right.
Afraid that if I speak it out loud, then he'll arrive.
Yeah.
Like, yes. And then it'll just be awkward. I'm not afraid of him or anything.
You got to say it 3 times fast.
Well, I'm not comfortable saying it fast. I'll have to work up to that over, days of practice.
But
it's like
you could play this guitar on a roller coaster, but only if it's a roller coaster of love. You could also play this guitar on an aeroplane.
Well, music is their aeroplane, so this could technically be part of the aeroplane. But if you're a Red Hot Chili Pepper fan, if you're a pepper, that's what they call it. That's what their fans call themselves. They call themselves peppers.
Do they?
People who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. You don't buy a guitar that looks like their logo that's built out like a Les Paul. Doesn't John play Jaguars and Strats and stuff like that? Isn't he a Fender boy?
He is. I mean, I don't know what all he's played. I associate him right away with Strats, though.
Yeah, I do not. Yeah, I do not understand the association here, other than just like someone in a wood shop is a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, and they have the equipment and the plans to build a Les Paul style guitar instead of a Strat, and so this is their best attempt at fandom. Because of a true pepper fan would want to build a Strat in the shape of the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo instead of a Les Paul.
Christopher Wayne in the chat says, once you play it, you can't stop. Oh,
right. We are not reading the comments.
This guitar, actually, you can play it anywhere you want because you can play this guitar all around the world.
Yeah. You know what I'd do if I had this guitar?
What would you do?
I'd give it away. I'd give it away right now.
Did you see that one in the comment too?
I did. For some reason, I keep thinking of that Nelly Fortunato song about birds, but I know they have a song about birds, but that's the bird song I want to reference.
As soon as you said her name wrong, I was like, "That's wrong.
That's wrong. It's very wrong."
I have Nelly Furtado. The problem is
I have not spoken her name since the 90s.
You said it so wrong that it made me forget what her name was.
I have not spoken her name in decades now. I wonder what she's up to. You think she's still like a bird? You think she still wants to fly away?
I think she, got back onto the earth and became a promiscuous girl.
Whoa. A little judgmental, Steve. I don't know where that came from. He's just saying, well, with that, do you want to talk about our album review?
Speaking of, no. No, that was the Nelly Furtado song with Timbaland.
That she was promiscuous?
There's a song called Promiscuous.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no idea.
You got a song called Promiscuous Girl.
All right. Well, our album review this week is Liz Phair's Exile in Guyville.
Yeah.
An album, an artist whose all her albums tend to be explicitly sexually charged with a somewhat dark and troubling energy. There's my review. What's your review, Steve?
That's pretty fair. So I will say, this is like the classic Liz Phair album. Yeah. This is the album that all other Liz Phair albums, I think, get compared to. I will say, I think it's
the one with the most catchy name.
Well, it's the one with the most obvious rock reference.
Sure.
Certainly. But now I guess maybe we'll talk about that later. I've listened through several Liz Phair albums, and I don't know. I'm not there's a lot going on here that I like, but there's a lot going on here where I understand it's intentional, but it's just very like 90s.
Oh, yeah.
In a way that I'm just not really into.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like heavy chorus, and that's this is an acoustic guitar song, but it's not really an acoustic guitar. It's a Fender Mustang and chorus wet mix 100.
Right. There's a lot of very 90s production qualities going on here, and there's a very interesting we think of as Liz Phair as being very alternative, and it is rooted in very alternative kind of genre specific things. But you got that jet, Steve. Is that me or is that you?
That's you.
That's me. I got the jet. There's like a folk quality too.
Yeah, so there's certain songs where like that heavy chorus thing, I felt like it really worked, and there's other ones. So like where was it like I had a note in here. So track 4, Dance of the Seven Veils, my note was chorusy guitar. Huh? This is one of the songs that works in this kind of raw state that part of me wants to hear like produced like as a modern production, like a cleaner production, I guess. But then it's one of those songs also where it's like, if you produced it better, like better,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like not as indie or whatever you want to call it. Then I think I would be like, oh God, this is terrible. Like this is an awful song.
Sure. I think it would lose some of its magic if you cleaned it up and overproduced it. But then part of me listens to it and like, how much of this are they doing on purpose? Like there's a lot of like what feels like intentional sloppiness with, just kind of the approach to the instruments.
Yeah.
Very loose, kind of like swaggery, kind of intentionally offbeat, sort of like outsider art kind of aesthetic here. That's it's very 90s. It's let me read some of my notes that I was making.
Read your notes, Ryan.
I'll read my notes. She has one of those voices you love or hate. It has a dry outsider, couldn't care less attitude.
Oh yeah,
I love.
Yeah.
I wrote there was this whole avant-garde, it's not cool to try hard movement in the 90s. I really connect with that mentality, and I think that's why I gravitate towards artists. I can't talk towards artists like this.
Yeah.
I wrote, it's hard to tell if they were trying to sound loose on purpose or if that's just the way it came out. No, do it again, sloppier this time.
Some of this album, just from transparency, from a couple different angles. Some of this album I felt weird listening to because it was because I was at work and I can't tell if she's supposed to be naked on the cover art.
Of this art?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's naked on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awkward at work. Especially now that we're in an open office.
And it's playing in the conference room.
Yeah. We have a conference room that has like a 90-inch television, or like, I don't know, like it's an 80-inch television in it. So I definitely put it up full screen on there. And then, so there's that. And then there's also an element of this album that is very accusing. I don't know if accusing is the right word, but I can't think of a better word, where I just feel like I don't understand what she's talking about.
It's like reading someone's diary and knowing nothing about them.
Exactly.
And trying to like come to your own conclusions about what's going on, even though it's all kind of cryptic and they know what they're talking about. They know what they're writing about. You have no idea what these events are that are being referenced,
Yeah. And so that was a thing. I read an article after this where they actually interviewed her and had her talk about all of the different meanings of the different songs and the connection with Exile on Main Street, the Rolling Stones album. And she kind of walks through and says where each song, like what each song's references.
Thanks, chat, Boston. We just got a super chat. Appreciate that.
And the whole idea that basically this album is written as kind of an outsider. I don't know if outsider perspective is the right word. I forget exactly how she describes it, but it's like the opposing perspective in a way to Exile on Main Street, and not Exile on Main Street necessarily directly, but just the whole like macho rock and roll aesthetic. And this was kind of like written from the perspective of a woman in the rock industry.
Hmm.
And so there are a lot of songs in here, and where it's kind of like you're listening to it, and it's a perspective that I guess maybe the word I'm looking for is like, it's kind of like you feel sheltered because you don't, this isn't like a perspective you really hear in like women driven rock music or female driven rock music, or maybe I just don't listen to enough female driven rock music. I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
I've spent a lot of time listening to a lot of female rock groups. I've got a thing for 90s girl rock and whatnot, and female led bands. None of them are Liz Phair in comparison, as far as like kind of just the brutal approach to how she addresses specific themes. Like she doesn't get into, when she wants to say something, she doesn't get into euphemism and innuendo. She's just like, oh, here's a lyric about a dick, and she's being very plain about it. Here's a lyric about me being sexually active before
when I'm 12.
Right. That is, it's not, some,
when I was 12, I was afraid.
It's not some pop song where it's buried under some sort of innuendo about dancing or something like that. And it's like, no, here's a declarative statement. And that's, as far as I've heard in music, that's very unique to Liz Phair. Like, I haven't heard any other singers or artists that lay it out there quite the way she does. It's almost more like a spoken word sort of approach.
Yeah, and I'm sure other artists exist, but like, even so, what she mentions in this in her kind of retrospective on this album, she mentions that Divorce Song is probably like the most popular song off this album. And I didn't realize until, I don't know, like 3 years ago, that her biggest, as far as I'm aware, pop hit, which is Why Can't I, like, has a whole thing on it that's basically like, oh yeah, we just met and here's the plan. I'm gonna break up with my boyfriend and then we're gonna bone down.
Right.
Like, and the thing is because you hear it on the radio, and like I remember seeing the music video for that had like ton of rotation on VH1. That's all edited out, and it's edited. It's like such a sly like pass through that like I don't even think I realized like that was what was being said. Not because it was like innuendo or whatever, but because it's so
wasn't in there.
It's one, it was removed, and two, it was just like it was said as if it was like an afterthought.
Sure.
It was just like, this is a thing that there was no emphasis put on it.
Right.
It was just like, oh, yep.
What's your favorite song off the album? Did you have a favorite? Do you have one that sticks out to you? It doesn't have to be favorite, but notable, like something that like that's what you associate with Liz Phair off this album.
What do I associate with Liz Phair off this album? I think Glory is a track that I would associate with Liz Phair. 6-1. I really like the imagery in 6-1 and the whole idea of like small people who have like big personas.
Right.
I think that's like a really interesting idea. And I like that song. The other one I was going to say is, though I wouldn't necessarily attribute it to Liz Phair directly, is the song Shatter. Starts off with this like really like drony thing going on at the beginning that just made me think a lot of like, really fits in, I think, with a lot of the indie rock bands and the indie rock sounds from like the early mid 90s, whether the earlier like the Pixies or like Nada Surf or whatever, that would, I think, were really heavy influences on the music that I listened to in the early 2000s. It was the kind of drone tones that you hear on like Taking Back Sunday or those kinds of like indie rock, emo, whatever bands from the early 2000s.
Yeah, there's a lot of musical kind of, just like I said earlier, like avant-garde kind of attitude behind all this. Like there's there's like a big like Velvet Underground kind of influence coursing through a lot of bands that were doing this sort of thing in the 90s, like trying to revisit that sort of vibe from leftover from the late 60s and early 70s and whatnot. The track on this album that jumps out to me is like, as I'd put it on like a best of Liz Phair sort of thing, was man, what was it called? Never Said Nothing is the song that I think it's like number 4.
Yeah.
Just something about it, something about the vibe of it. It's not even lyrical content. It's just like the vibe and the feel of it. It's like, yeah, this is Liz Phair to me. This is it.
Just the only comment I had for that song was snitches get stitches.
So who should we recommend this album to? Anyone?
I would listen to it. I would recommend to anyone. Just don't necessarily listen to it with your kids.
Yeah, well, you're not recommending it to kids. I say if you're if you are a woman, a girl, however you see yourself, a female in junior high and up, give it a listen. If you are a man, probably in college, listen to it in college. When you're ready to have kind of bigger thoughts about the world and about the perspective of people different than you, give Liz Phair a listen, and do it with open mind, listening to the world from her perspective and not doing it, lumping her in with any other individual. This is her lyrical content. This is her story.
Yeah.
And just kind of like try to have some sort of human connection and empathy with the songwriter.
And if you
try to take something away from it.
And, like I said, there's I can't remember the publication now. But there's there is an article out there. If you Google Exile in Guyville, Exile. What I Googled was Exile in Guyville versus Main Street. And basically there's an interview with her where she kind of goes song by song and tells a little bit about like the story behind the song. So it's kind of, I thought that was a really cool piece again.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
I think musically would be a good departure for anyone that's only ever had exposure to highly polished like pop music and wants to dip their toe into something a little bit less accessible musically, because it doesn't color in the lines. Like, this is a good album for that too. So there's another recommendation too. Yeah.
All right, let's do some housekeeping, huh?
Housekeeping. You still haven't sent me the addresses for the last two $25 guys that I got to send shirts to. Well, you sent one.
I sent you one. Yeah,
but I meant to do them both in session. I didn't remember it till just now. So right. I'm not blaming you.
So housekeeping. I want to thank everyone again who supports the show at any level. If you want to support us, head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. This week, we would like to welcome at the $5 level, the best friends level. I will put together a little bag of merch that we have and get it sent out your way. Actually, it's a little envelope. It'll come to you in an envelope that looks like this. Is Kyle Eric Cardno at the $5 level, the best friends level. And then at the $1 level, I'm going to read the name that he signed up with, even though I know who this is Barn Owl Cello. I think Barn Owl Cello is actually starting up a YouTube channel where he's playing music through like he's using guitar pedals on a cello.
Oh, fun. That's always great.
So his Facebook page is Barn Owl Cello, and he does have a Patreon page going. But it's a really cool idea. He's in a secret chat that I'm in. But thanks to him for joining at the $1 level. We say all the time, whether it's a $1 level or the $25 level, if you can feel like you can afford to support the show, we'd love to take you up on that offer.
Every little bit helps in the long run. I just went and balanced our budget today after like 2 months of not.
And it is not balanced.
Well, for the most part, for the history of the show, we've been in the black. We've had extra money in the bank. But because of current things where I had to replace a computer, and we got a new camera before I knew I had to replace a computer. For the first time ever, we are in the red a little bit. But I mean, considering everything it takes to run this operation, to run the show, we've got a freaking great track record. And
yeah,
I know that we're going to get back in the black at some point soon. And I'm not worried about it at all. And that's really just all thanks to the Patreons and the people who support this show, because we use that money to pay our bills around here and to make things that we wouldn't normally be able to afford possible, like travel, equipment upgrades, building the set behind me.
The Affordaboard series.
The Affordaboard series got kickstarted basically by
you look at it and you go, oh, that pedal's $20. That pedal's $20, but all in all, that's got to be like, that's a pretty expensive series.
It's hundreds of dollars invested in it, and that money came from the Patreons to start that series, and it's been a lot of fun. And getting it started got the attention of all those import builders that are typically pretty hard to work with and get their attention, and they've been very willing to send me stuff since proving our worth with that stuff. So yeah, huge thanks to the Patreons, and we love you.
Yeah, let's hit that last ad. You got it? What you got for me?
Find it. Oh, great. Another quasi-political one, I guess. A rebel base, Steve.
This isn't even a secret rebel base. This is from Damian Michael.
This is way out there. Obvious advertising it to the entire galaxy rebel base.
Electric bass guitar, one of a kind, unique instrument, red, white, and blue.
More like red, white, and moo. Huh? 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 It's not Star Wars related. Kevin Hernandez just said, I was expecting to be Star Wars related. It's not. What we're looking at here for the podcast listeners at home and working on the road is a cow skull, a steer skull, a longhorn skull that has been turned into a base. And then the skull part of it has been painted to look like the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
You think it's red or orange? Isn't the Confederate flag orange?
No, it's red.
Maybe I'm just thinking of the General Lee.
The General Lee is orange.
Yeah. So this is squarely a Confederate flag and not a tribute to the General Lee.
No, this is just I
mean, there's a lot to unpack here. We don't even need to talk about the whole Confederate flag thing.
This is also in Florida, which is even more confusing.
Do they have longhorns in Florida? Is that
I don't know. I only associate longhorns with Texas.
Yeah. So this is doubly confusing. It also just looks very impractical. Like there's something kind of fun about a skull guitar, like repurposing a skull to be an instrument, and maybe there might even be some fun, like acoustic qualities there with a nice hollow, chambery skull with its teeth rattling as you play those low notes on your long guitar. But man, it looks uncomfortable. How do you even hold that thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand.
How do you transport it?
Well, you just strap it on your back.
The horn should really be, you should be able to unscrew them so that you can set them up when you get to the gig, The
way those horns are set, you could just use it to put a tarp on, strap this to your back, and now you've got a glider.
It almost looks like a bow. Like you could string up those horns and shoot arrows with this. Yeah. That's how long these horns are that we're looking at here. You have to admit, though, if it didn't have the horns on it, from a distance, you'd have no idea what the object was supposed to be.
Right.
You have to see it in a three-dimensional sense to get that it's a skull. Although I think if it had like short cow horns, just like two like, crescent moon shapes coming out the sides that were even half that length, I think it would venture way into being more practical. Instead of this longhorn steer,
I just don't even know what to do with this. I don't even want to think about this. Someone just got really bored and they're like, "Oh, look at this. Look what I can do.
Look what I can do. I made a
Look what I
baby."
can do."
All right. Well, you want to tell us about the song that's going to play on the podcast, Steve, and everyone here on the video stream can just pretend that they're hearing it. Hey, if you had problems with the audio quality in this video at any point and you're still here and you want to hear a higher quality version of this podcast, go check out the podcast stream through iTunes, Stitcher, wherever, all the podcast places, and we will have a high quality audio version of this available for you. So go check that out.
Yeah, this song was sent by Tyson Brennicombe, longtime listener. He says, "It's been a bit, but I thought I'd drop off a song. The band is Marmalade Duplex. This is our first single, Jelly Salad Juggernaut. I'm playing drums, Farifsa, a Moog Prodigy, saxophone, and a Mexican 50s P bass. My friend Brad is playing a Japanese Jaguar into a Fender Frontman 15 with a hardwired trem pedal on the vibrato setting and a Boss PS3. The singer is a cartoonist named Mark Bell. He's a bit of a comic legend here in Canada. If you're into wobbly, psychedelic Robert Crumb fantasy worlds, you might want to look at his stuff. Keep up the great podcast, and thanks." So again, this song is called Jelly Salad Juggernaut, and it's by Marmalade Duplex. Hope you guys who are listening to the audio version really enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. And now are you down to do a little hangout, Steve?
Yeah, I think I can hang out.
Hang out all night. I'm going to do what I did the other on Monday. I'm just going to drop the link right here in the comments. And if anyone watching wants to jump in and hang out with us, all you do is click that link. And guess what? You get to be on the show. So otherwise, we can just read comments.
Yeah.
Or
you guys got any questions?
You guys want to really get our attention and give me money? I'm not going to share it with Steve.
How dare you, sir?
This is impossible to track what money comes from where. So it's like, I don't know. Steve is like, "Oh, you owe me $10. I'll give him $10." But
I could track it. I could write it down as it goes on.
If you guys want to give money to Steve right now, then do it.
Somebody gave me like $1, Ryan. Where's my dollar?
Well, you're going to get 70 cents of $1, Steve, after YouTube takes your cut. Maybe I should drop that link into like a Facebook group or something too. While we're at it, while I'm not looking, you read some comments, Steve.
Live animation is such a strain on the artist's wrist. Don't tempt me, bro. Sorry, I'm wearing my hair rolls right now.
I mean, you could say who the comments are from. You can give a little bit of information.
Dan of New Jersey says Ryan will need the money for a liver transplant.
I don't need a liver transplant. My liver's still good. I'm drinking sake tonight and cheap stuff. Like there's barely any alcohol in this.
Is that better or worse?
Sake is
I'm reading about this guy. I'm reading about this guy, Mark Bell. He has a Wikipedia page.
I believe it.
He has a bunch of publications.
What has he worked on?
The Hobbit.
He's worked on.
I don't know. Like he's a like a comic artist who he's been in Vice and LA Weekly. He apparently created the comic strip Shrimpy and Paul, which I've never heard of.
Yeah, me either. Let me look up this guy, see if I recognize anything. Jeez. Oh yeah, interesting.
Like he's definitely does have that that R. Crumb style going.
Yeah, I like it. It's not uncommon for comic artists and animators and illustrators to also be into music. I know John Kay from Ren and Stimpy. He had a band for a while, and various other people. Why is Ryan so fuzzy / blurry tonight? Good question.
We don't know.
My internet has been sucking lately, and I'm hardwired in. I'm not on Wi-Fi right now. I'm going through the Ethernet. I'm wondering if there's something going on with the internet in the neighborhood, or if my router is going dead.
Are you on Time Warner, Spectrum, whatever?
No, I'm on Spectrum, which is Time Warner, right?
It used to be Time Warner.
Yeah. You think there's something up with them?
I don't know, because that's what I'm on.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, it might be my neighborhood, or it might be a piece of equipment in my house, because my regular internet has been kind of sketched lately. So maybe it's my laptop. Maybe my laptop is like, you are pushing me too hard. I cannot do this anymore. Man. So far, no one's joining. So maybe we're going to be alone tonight, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. Did you see
your internet is drunk?
Yeah, my internet's drunk. Did you see my my live thing from Monday? Where I just put the link.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched it. I know you talked about it. You told me about it.
Yeah, I just put the link out there, and people joined on, and we did like a show and tell sort of thing where they were just showing me their guitars and hanging out, and did it for about an hour. It was fun. It's a good way to spend Monday morning.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at Craigslist right now. I got that amp. I really need to sell it. That stupid custom. I mean, it's not stupid. It's cool, but I want to sell it.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why I think the Wong's is cooler than the custom. The Wong's is smaller. So that's a pro. But yeah.
Yeah, I got that Harmony amp in, which was reminding me of the Wangs.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We got someone. But then
you got the little Wangs.
Just because it has a speaker connected and it's a cab, I feel like I'm way more likely to use the Harmony.
Right.
Even though it's a similar concept, just a super simple, super quiet low watt amp. All right, we got someone joined. Late night.
Late night. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well. My kids are asleep, I think. I hope.
What time is it? Well, they better be. What time is it where you are?
Oh, it's quarantine time. It doesn't matter anymore. I think it's 11:30 or so.
Yeah, it says 9:43 here. It's not too late, but yeah, quarantine
not
time.
Too bad. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest, so a couple hours.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah. I watch your guys' show a lot. I enjoy it. I get a lot out of it. It's fun.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a home studio, and I've been doing this for 20 years, playing guitar, and kind of a pro, kind of not. I don't know. I got a weekly gig, or I did. I've been out for a few months. But, I'm a karaoke host.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I play lead guitar with everything, so it's a weird thing. Yeah. And that's my stage. That's my stage name. I'm DJ. I'm not a DJ. I'm kind of a DJ. I don't know. DJ late night, whatever. It's fun.
I like that. That's fun.
What's your main, like? Do you have like a main guitar, or are you like us where it's just whatever you feel like?
I have a couple. I actually don't have tons of stuff because I've always been kind of a minimalist, and if I use what works, because I've always got cheap stuff. Always had, but it's got to work. And after I'm in a church band, and also I work at a bar 3 nights a week, or I did, that's a fun mix, but I'm on stage like 13 hours a week. And so I found out that I need something that works. So I'll show you this. I just got this and I'm stoked about it. Let's see. Here we go. I got a Ibanez. See if you can see it. It's a Ibanez AS73. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's this Green Valley gradation, which I'm really surprised did not blow up the internet.
It is green.
I'm trying to hit the light. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This is really messing with me. Yeah,
Oh,
you can kind of see how it.
It's that,
there we go.
that gummy worm green.
It's weird, and I can't get the light right here. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I see it
yeah,
now.
but you can kind of. Okay, here we go. Almost there. This is backwards. But yeah, it gets darker the farther up. I know that light's not coming through. Sorry.
Oh,
No, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, so it's kind of lime greenish, and it just kind of gets a little more foresty. And I really, I want a showstopper. I want something that just people are like, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it plays great, man. It really does. Like, it's set up out of the box. And this is funny. I got it through Sweetwater, and they sent me the wrong one. So I'm waiting on my brand new guitar, and they send me a cheaper one that's more like a real jazz box, you know. And it was pretty. It was kind of blue, kind of had a similar thing. I recorded a track with it so I could get the sound and then compare it later. And, like I got a guitar, I'll use it for a minute, but not too much. So that kind of bummed me out, and they finally sent me the right one. That was nice. But I don't know. I did see a little bit of QC stuff, and just from the 400 to the $500. This is $500 brand new.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe how good those art cores are for the price. And how much better they get with each $100, $150. Like they just keep getting better and better and better. It's wild.
Yeah.
I was trying them at NAMM, and I was like, this one's only $100 more, and it looks like $400 more. Like, what is going on here right now?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I've seen some of those where you're just like, I think you got the price wrong when you were talking about it, and you put it on the screen. It's like, because they feel. And that's the thing, because the last few years, like I really kind of figured out what pros need. They need something to hold together, It's like one that works here when I'm recording stuff and writing is different than when you take it up to a bar, which is destructive. Oh man, it's nuts, dude. I've never seen SM58s get destroyed, but oh my gosh, drug people, man. Let me tell you, it's crazy.
Right. I mean, there's a difference between SM58s, the ones that get used in studios and home, and ones that get gigged. And the ones that get gigged, like the screen on it looks like someone just chewed it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you ever get the dent that scoops in on one side, just scooped? We destroyed it, but they always work though.
Yeah, they always stop working.
Oh, we had one of the places I would set up in, like, we had an SM58 that was caved in like that, but I don't know if it was because it was caved in or if it was just a fluke, but people would look at it and be like, this thing's trash. And I'd be like, that's the best sounding one.
Always. I have noticed over the years that they can get a little muffly sounding after they've been really, used, but I mean, they always work in a snap, It's like if you need it. I mean, I've recorded bands, my own band, we all had kids, so we haven't played in years, but we recorded our whole demo with 4 mics, maybe 2 58s, where you like triangle the guitar amps. We had the 2 guitar amps triangling in the back into the kick mic, and they had the kick back and had one in the corner, and used our vocal mics as room mics, and somehow it worked. If we shut the door in there, it wouldn't phase out weird, and it worked. It was weird. That stuff's fun, but I like this guitar. I do. It's nice. But also, I'll show you this one if I can get the light right. Give me 1 second. Let's see. This is something you probably don't see a lot. I've had it since I was 16. I bought it for $200, and this is a PVT 60.
Oh, nice.
And this is my baby.
Oh, cool.
I've had it forever and ever, and I've had a little work done on it over the years. And when you really look at it, it's gross. I mean, it's really nasty.
How much does that thing weigh?
Let's see. This thing, I did weigh it, and it's definitely in the 9.5 realm.
No, for those.
I mean, and I always felt like it was more because it just it's
I think he froze on us. He turned sideways and froze. But
that's weird.
We got Gabor here. Hey, Gabor.
Hey. Gabor.
How's it going?
Good.
I was told
your audio. Nice and smooth.
Oh, thanks.
Steve, look at those pedal shelves back there. That's what you got to work up to.
We actually took a while trying to decide if they should be I like the staggered look for now, but we are going back and forth if they should be staggered or if it should have just been one row.
All right. Well, Late Night is completely frozen, so I'm going to remove him. I'm sorry, Late Night. It was great seeing your stuff, but we've also got.
Hang on, I gotta go. I got that way.
Sassy Cat in. Sassy, how are you doing? Look at this guy.
Looking sassy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I like your style.
Hey.
Yeah, like Gabor, I am in full recline and watching the podcast.
I was in full recline until Sassy Cat told me to get on the podcast. I mean, on the live stream. So.
Got to get the stars on.
Well,
The stars.
That's why you're here, Sassy Cat.
I love it. What time is it?
Oh, no. I don't have an invite to 42 Gear Street yet.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it sounds like they're not going to let anyone who's not European go this year. They're going to keep it all
racist. They're racist. Bastard. Henning, you racist bastard.
Last year, Henning wouldn't let any women go. This year, he won't even let any non-Europeans go.
Yeah. He chooses an ism every year. So last year it was sexism. This year it's racism.
Next year it'll be nationalism. Germans only.
Oh,
Only
my
Germans,
gosh.
yes.
In a hurry.
Too soon?
Wow, we went there.
Late Night is back. Let's see if he's
All
back.
right, guys. I'm a ding dong. My
Hello.
phone died.
Hello. Hello.
All right, we're plugged in. I'm gonna swing this.
All right. Well, since you froze up, Gabor is here all the way from Australia. Sassy Cat is here. Where are you, Sassy Cat? I don't know where you are.
I'm in the South Central Sunflower, just south of Wichita.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Missouri, buddy.
There's a sunflower in my backyard. I don't think you're in my backyard.
Or is he?
Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you.
Oh my goodness.
So tell us about that MTG tube tremolo.
Oh man, where's that thing?
Oh yeah, I saw that video. I didn't even know you had that.
I wrote my Fender guy to beg for the new ukulele, and he was like, "Well, what if I send you this pedal too?" I was like, "Yeah, send me the new pedal." I still haven't gotten the ukulele.
That's probably the pedal. That's the pedal they were supposed to send me from last year's taco party.
You think so? No, this just came out, man. Well, if you want a pedal, I'll give you a pedal, Steve.
One day I'll have a Fender guy. One day.
You'll get a Fender guy soon. We all get one when we hit puberty.
Oh, all right, okay.
I don't know why I
one
made
day.
that joke. That was
One
the
day.
first thing that popped in my head.
Gabor, you should hit Shane up. See if you can get hooked up with his Fender guy.
In the blues, Shane.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I never talked to him. I met the guy, but I'll give him. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I'll do a high profile YouTube visit, or maybe low profile YouTube visit.
There you go.
Oh, here's what you do: just got to schedule an interview with these guys. Like, hey, I want to interview, and then when you're like doing the prep or the cool down after the interview, like, hey, who's your Fender contact? Like the whole reason to. Like they think they're going to interview, and you're just trying to like scout contacts off of them.
That's why. Yeah, Ryan and Steve, you guys should come on my podcast sometime.
I honestly don't know how Fender finally noticed us, because I've been a Fender boy for so long. Like I just love Fender stuff. Lost Steve. Oh well.
The Fender guy got to him. The Fender guy got to him.
I'm gonna check on him, and I go to their Fender booth every event, and they know who I am. You know, the people there, and I leave my card. I take cards. I email them, and nothing ever happens. And then finally, a guy who had never talked to hits me up, and he's like, "There's like social media guy." He's like, "Hey, I want to do stuff out." I just landed in the Rolodex of the right guy, I guess.
One day I'll be there. One day.
Yeah. Oh, we got Andrew here from the Get Offset podcast.
What's up, everybody?
Howdy.
Hey,
Andrew.
good audio boy here.
Oh, I do what I can.
Why does it put that space in the middle? I hate the way it divides this up. Can I do this?
Social distancing. There we,
He
oh.
wants to put the world behind us.
That's a lot.
6 centimeters apart. Yeah.
Oh, Steve says BRB. What is it? Like 2002 on the internet? He's going to be right back.
2007. Let's be fair. 2007.
Hey guys, ASL.
Oh man.
So what do you guys want to know? You asked about this. What do you want to know about it? It's got a tube in there. I have yet to see it, but it makes your volume go up and down. It's a tube.
Oh.
Wow.
Haven't taken it apart yet then.
I know, right?
Yeah, I kept waiting for it to happen.
For me to take it
There
apart.
he is.
Ah.
Hey,
Yes.
Steve.
It's
Have you
just-
dropped it off a bridge yet, or
What's that?
have you dropped
turned
it
it
off a bridge?
Not yet. Can I even take the knobs off? Because the knobs have LEDs in them, so you can't even take those off. They're hardwired in.
Oh, weird.
Fancy.
Probably have
Wow.
to remove them from the inside.
Oh, you know what? No, I could have taken out 4 screws and probably dropped it out the back. And it's probably 2 circuit boards in there or something like that. It's probably not that hard. But I looked at it and it's like, oh man, I'd have to undo the sides and I have to undo the knobs and but I probably don't have to. It's probably just the 4 screws.
No, you have to.
Or I have to
It's
do
the rule. It's a law.
No. So this is how it works: is there's not actually a tube in there. They just want you to think that, and they want to make it impossible to open for you to be able to prove otherwise.
There's a tube in there, but it's just because they had extra tubes and it's not connected to anything. It's just like rattling around.
Right.
Guys, it's a tube tremolo. It comes with a tube. Every single one comes with a tube. It's in there.
New old stock. Not because we wanted to put it in there. We didn't know where to put it.
It's old stock. Yeah.
It's old new stock. All these buzzwords, you know?
Remember the days when you have to take your tubes down to the local Quickie Mart to put it in the tube tester machine to see if they still worked or not?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Sorry. Not
Everybody
trying-
born after 1980, raise your hand.
Okay, so the
Yeah, that probably
the
still
tube in these
existed.
things,
I just wasn't aware of it, in that time.
the 6205 is it's really tiny.
Oh, really? Is it like a
Yeah,
mammoth tube? or
it's like
anything?
the kind of tube that you would put in a microphone.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That makes
So
more
it's-
sense. So they're not doing the thing like the TC Electronic did with the tube driver, where they put a full amp tube in there, and
No.
who knows if it's actually doing anything. They have an appropriately sized tube.
Yeah. It's
That's
a 6205. It's apparently some kind of preamp tube. I mean, I don't know much about that. I've never heard of it before. I'm just reading about it.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like a tube that you might use in a microphone.
Yeah.
Who
Then
was the
that would
guitar
make sense.
maker?
Huh?
Who was the guitar maker that had the tube in their guitar?
Oh, Rukonga?
Rukongas.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked to that guy. He was there.
You are. That was his first name. You are
Rukonga.
Yuha, as in
Yuha.
Juha. Yuha.
Yuha.
Yeah.
But where are they from?
Finland.
That explains so much.
There's a lot. There's a lot of,
Okay. So
there's a lot of
the
guitar stuff going on in Finland.
Oh.
Henning's racism is rubbing off on Steve.
the company I work for had a Finnish client, and one of the representatives for that client, this was my project at work. Her name, you'd look at it and you'd be like, oh, I think I understand how to pronounce that. And literally the thing that she told us, we're like, because there was a Maria and a Maria. And the second of the Marias, literally, like in the thing, said, "Yep, there it is." She said,
that's a
"Don't."
625, yeah.
She's like, "Maria's
Wow.
fine because no one outside of Finland can pronounce my name." Because basically, like,
there's lots of consonants together that don't belong together.
well, it's not even that. Like, it looked like a normal name, but I guess there was just some inflected tone that, only existed in that, like, Ulgaric, I think it's Ulgaric language group, and it doesn't exist outside of it.
We all got
Umlaut.
sidetracked by that. We all got sidetracked by that tube, and for a second there, forgive me, I didn't think Steve was going to finish the story.
Mesmerized.
Look
Look
at that
at the
little guy.
tube. Look
I
at
gotta
the
open this
tube.
thing up now. Where's my screwdriver?
That looks like the transmitter in the Matrix. They pull out the bug, shoot, that's it, right there.
Let's see if I can get this thing open right now.
Oh, here we go.
Do it.
We're going to break it.
Yeah, it's never gonna work again after this. After I take out the magic screws.
I'm not an engineer, but I feel like that small tube size is going to be powered at least more appropriately than, say, like a full AX7. And
Well, that's the thing that I looked at the pedal and I was like, it says it needs 200 milliamps. That's not tube power.
No.
New tube?
Yeah, I mean, you could power a new tube with 200 milliamps, but it's like you're not getting an effect out of a regular tube with only 200 milliamps. I mean, I'm not a tube scientist. I don't know much about them, but that's just my guess,
Isn't this a tube science podcast that you guys
Yeah,
do?
well, yeah. I'm a layman. We call in experts,
Oh, yeah, well.
I play like the Jerry Lewis role where I'm the comedy.
is the show called Pain in the Glass?
Wow.
Too good.
Wow.
That's really good.
Is Steve the Dean Martin then? To your Jerry Lewis?
Steve is the straight man. All right, let's get this open. Remove the magic 4 screws.
Ah.
Is it?
Drum roll.
Oh, it did open very easily.
Nice.
And there it is. There's the little tube right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah. I can see all those pixels.
Hold on. Let's see if I can
See the pixel in the middle? That's the one.
view.
It's just bigger pixels now.
Bigger pixels now. It's crystal clear on my side, guys. I'll have
I
to
can
do like
see
an
it.
Instagram post of it or something.
Instead of super rich Steve, it's going to have to be super savage Steve.
I wonder if I could arrange this thing. Oh no, because it's got the little switch. But I was thinking I could arrange this thing so the power jack would be on the bottom. Is that anything? Is that important to anyone? I don't think so. All right. put it back
See
there.
if you can fit a different tube into it.
No, it's not a socket. It's soldered in.
Ah.
And
That doesn't mean you can't put another tube in there.
Yeah,
Ryan.
that's come on, Ryan.
You've seen me solder. You know what to expect out of me.
Yeah, that is true.
and he's taking it apart. And can he get it back together?
Nope. When I put that my Jazzmaster back together. It was yesterday. I'm sorry, I can't think straight right now. I put my Jazzmaster back together yesterday. I was surprised. I was shocked when everything on it worked. And literally all I did was just like copy one wire from one switch over to the next, like piece by piece. And I was still surprised that it all works. Because I find a way to screw stuff up. I am not smart with this stuff.
How do you like that descendant vibrato, by the way?
I love it.
What do you think?
I mean, I've only got a day into using it, but it's really nice and smooth, and it's super stable, and it looks really good. I know you can't tell right now because it's 4 pixels or whatever. The thing I'm a little worried about is that you need an Allen wrench to tighten the arm, and it doesn't. You can't pull it out without releasing the Allen wrench. So if you gig with this thing and to have it in and out of a case, you've always got to be like, pull it out. Put it back in.
I always leave the trim arm in the guitar. I never take it out when I take the gigs.
It's pretty damn high.
Oh, I guess maybe, yeah. True.
So, I mean, I guess it would probably be fine. I mean, you're going to retune it. It's not going to hurt anything. You're probably right. I could probably case it. It's not a big deal.
Because hang on. Oh, there's one here. Hang on. There's another guitar floating around here. Because that's the mastery, and I guess it's not sitting as high.
No, that's pretty high.
It's still pretty high, but that goes in the case. No worries.
Yeah, maybe I need to stop worrying about it.
No.
Just stop worrying and love the bomb.
How do you guys like that kind of tremolo? How do you guys like that kind of tremolo as opposed to like a Stratocaster type of tremolo?
I like both.
Best
I like
trem
a
ever.
Strat and an offset trem.
I think it's the best trem ever.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah.
A Strat trim, it just gives you that like immediate like access to dive bomb type stuff.
Yeah.
Once you get them figured out, you can get subtle with it, but you're never going to be able to do the same like smooth warble.
Yeah.
Right.
Like real smooth.
Trim does, you know, it's that just
Yeah.
glassy smooth like roo roo. Where the Strat's a lot more divey.
Yeah, I've never kind of liked the bomb stuff too much, and even though I'm kind of shreddy at times, I've never cared for the totally bombing it. I like the subtle stuff too, for sure.
That's what, but the Fender ones are never any good. I find. I mean, sorry, Fender guy, but
Mine's a PV. Mine's a PV.
Look, I find it's expensive, but the mastery vibrato is so much better. So I've got mine all have mastery on it, and it's such a great vibrato. It's really, really good. And if you set it up right, it does not go out of tune at all. It works.
You know what?
Really well.
There's different variations of the Fender one from different models of guitars. I put the American Vintage reissue on my Jaguar, and it's fantastic. Like it's honestly really good. It's super smooth. It's super stable. I mean, it's the arm doesn't wobble around or anything like that. It's in there firm. I think there are good versions of the Fender branded ones.
I'm sure there are.
And so watch your damn mouth is what I'm saying.
and the good one is not the one I have on the wall right behind me.
Sorry, Fender guy. Sorry, Fender guy.
You know what? You know what?
Your endorsement deal,
I want to be part of the Fender guy crew.
I wanted Fender to send me stuff and work with me forever, but I've always thought like, man, I'm shooting myself in the foot because I put the money in to buy my own stuff and buy Squire products and buy Fender products and whatnot, and then I'll criticize it when I'm doing my coverage of it. I'm like, well, that's it. Fender's going to see this and they're never going to send me anything.
Oh, but they like that stuff. They like
that. But then they still found me. They're still sending me stuff. And as like a point of principle, like I feel like I need to be critical of Fender stuff when there is an issue with it, even if they sent it to me, especially if they sent it to me.
Yeah.
Because I am such a Fender fanboy and because I do love the core concept of their brand so much that it would be I have to make sure I'm on the level. I have to make sure I'm saying like, it's not quite up to snuff, or hey, here's the issues, or here's something you need to know about this or that. And so far it doesn't seem to bother them. I think they just, they just want coverage no matter what. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not for me, but yeah. One day.
Gentlemen, my phone says 6% battery charge left, so I will have to bid you good night.
Okay. I think we got one person to jump in, so
nice to actually meet you, Sassy Cat.
Yes, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you all too. See you later.
Have a good evening.
See ya.
Have a great evening.
All right, enter Malcolm. Hi, Malcolm.
Like tag team.
Howdy.
Sorry we kept you there for a while.
Not a problem. I was thinking you appear to be broadcasting in 144p tonight, and I'm thinking that maybe you've hit a gigage limit with your ISP, and they're throttling you now.
Oh, that could be
something
possible.
to think about.
I should hit them up.
You should look into your contract.
I should hit them up and be like, hey, what's going on?
You had this problem last week, though, too.
Maybe you've got like a... Maybe you've got like an
uploading...
Alexa or something that listens in, and because you're talking about 90s stuff, they give you 90s internet.
Oh, what do we have here? We have a Sonic or something.
Oh.
Anybody recognize this?
Oh.
Is it a Marauder?
Correct.
It is a Marauder.
It is more than that.
4 points.
It is a 1975 Marauder. The
Oh.
version for the Marauder. It is
Very
also,
cool.
It is also Sunburst. And
Oh,
Sunburst
nice.
was only available the first year.
That's
Oh.
beautiful.
And
Well, there you
all the
go.
ones except this one that were Sunburst in 1975 got smashed on stage by Paul Stanley.
Oh, what a
So this one
dick.
might be worth a couple of bucks.
That's beautiful.
That's cool.
That's nice. I'm going to have to show off my T60 again. It looks a lot like that. Like,
And, this
yeah,
is the
hell
first
yeah.
time I'd ever seen this headstock, this pointy Gibson headstock. First time I
I
saw
like
it
it.
was when I saw this guitar.
Yeah, that's
That's great.
that's a classic.
So how do you like the harmonica bridge on that thing?
I don't have a problem with it really.
'Cause that's what I've got on my Explorer parts guitar here, is that harmonica style bridge. I've always been kind of a fan of it.
Oh,
I like how like bulky it is. I know you guys can't see through the pixels, but
that's so weird looking.
It's that one brown pixel there, yeah.
Something to be aware of. One time when I'd injured my hand and it was all tied up and I wanted to change my strings, and a friend of mine changed the strings and he took all the strings off and this piece fell off.
yeah.
And he picked it up and put it back on and strung the guitar. And then I took it out and I let another guy play it on stage. And he got some weird looks on his face and he said to me, "There's something wrong with this guitar." And I realized, oh, he's put the thing back on the other way. So,
Oh.
so the intonation was wrecked.
Yeah. Every time I take a bridge off, I forget which way it went. And I second guess myself, and I start looking up pictures of how like bridges are installed on other people's guitars. I'm like, oh yeah, the screws go that way. I'll just put it on that way.
Why is it that if you have a 50-50 chance with something, you always pick the wrong one?
And
It's
you're
like-
spot.
is it just every single time you want to plug in a USB,
Hmm.
it's always the wrong way the first way?
Well, here's the
Well,
thing.
No, it's always the right way the first time, but you
And then
miss.
it's and then
you
flip
flip
and
it over,
again.
and you're like, "What?
No, it's
And
it's proof that we're in a simulation, because there's two options, but it's wrong 2 out of 3 times. Like you try twice, and then on the third time it's right. It's like we're in like some sort of weird simulation where that's just an error in the code or something like that. It's
normally,
that's
I'm
what-
not one for like that kind of conspiracy theory, but you look like you're in a simulation, so I buy it.
Right now, yeah. That's what I was just about to say.
Listen,
He knew too much. He knew
This
too much.
isn't-
That's why it's not him.
This isn't the first version of the Matrix, is all I'm saying.
We couldn't handle the first version. We couldn't handle it.
The first version, USB
Perfect.
worked every time. People couldn't handle
Every
it.
time.
What else do we have here, Malcolm? I'm seeing a bluebird.
Yeah, it's the Indio Classic.
Oh,
What
interesting.
is it? What is that?
$1 Stratocaster fake.
Ah,
I saw it on
It's got a beak on it.
Daryl Braun Guitars.
Oh, come on.
Guitar.
This Mr. White Teeth himself.
Right?
Let's see if I can do it. My Daryl Braun. Gotta get my teeth a little sticky.
You have to say, "Hope you're having a great day today."
How
So
does
this
he
is
get
the
his
guitar
teeth
that
so
the
white?
bridge
That's what I
came
wonder.
for. This morning when you were doing the Jazzmaster thing, there was a knock at my door and my bridge came, and it was a bridge for this guitar.
Oh, yeah, you're the one who commented about that, about your bridge showing up.
Yeah, you were talking about it on yours, and then mine came to the door.
Nice.
And a couple of days earlier, I got my Wilkinson's tuner for this, so tomorrow I'm going to have to put both of those on. It will probably improve the guitar quite notably.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Fender bridge, so it's got a really heavy block, and this has just as little block as possible.
Yeah.
hmm.
I mean, my Mexican Strat has like the slightest little block in it, and I've changed it before, though. I keep going back to that original block. There's something about the vibe of it that I like, but then I'll play other guitars that have a big, heavy block in them. I'm like, oh, this is nice. But there's something about my Strat that maybe because I've used it so much where that block just feels like home to me. I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
But there's something nice about a giant, like heavy brass or steel block or something like that. This gives you that mass.
It feels like you can
Ryan likes
strong
it
arm it.
massive.
All right.
Puts a new meaning to Wiggle Stick, but I'll take it.
Awkward silence.
He just wants that small block.
What does it mean? Is there any euphemism there? Is there any innuendo, or are we just making it sound like there's a euphemism?
There's I don't
Saying words, man.
if you commit to the innuendo that's not there enough,
There must be
someone's
a
bound to figure it
block
out.
joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, he wants that.
Who's there?
big bridge. You know, get it? A bridge? No, I don't get it.
Ooh, that machine head. Yeah.
I'm not saying his
Blue
guitar
burst.
was in tune, but it was in tune.
Yeah, hey.
Full send. I love it.
How are you doing, Andrew? We logged you in here and then we haven't talked to you much. You've just been hanging out.
I've just been chilling out, having a good time. I just got done getting dinner fed to the whole family and having a nice evening.
Nice. What'd you have?
I did pickled brined pork chops.
Nice.
Interesting. I have never had that before.
Neither had I,
No.
but I had an empty jar of pickles I finished up and figured, what do I want to do with this? And didn't feel like being wasteful. That felt wrong.
So you put pork chops in it, and then a year later, when they were nice and pickled, you cooked them.
Exactly. But no, honestly, just hanging out, having a good time. And
I usually just drink that.
Pork chops? You drink pork chops?
Year-old pork chops.
Well, what was it like? What was a pickled pork chop like?
It tasted like exactly what you think it would taste like. It was a pork chop, but it was a pickle.
Mm.
I know. I don't have anything else that's terribly exciting
You're
to say
not
about that.
selling me on it. You're not selling me on these.
I didn't really sell myself on it. I like to try things out and be adventurous. But no, I've really had my eyes focused on. I've got a product launch for Fox Cairo next week, and very excited about it. I haven't really decided how much I want to say about this publicly. I don't know. You guys might coax it out of me.
Well, now we know. Now we know.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Hacking you now. Figure it out.
So I co-host Get Offset with Emily Harris, and the other thing that I do is I run Fox Cairo. We make pedal toppers that are functional, custom, and rad. They're just like a printed grip tape that glow in the dark, but
Nice.
you can print whatever you want on it, so it's fully flexible as far as how custom it is.
Cool.
And they glow in the dark.
They glow in the dark.
Nice.
So combination of like that inner 4-year-old, like, haha, it glows in the dark, and stage safety, stage visibility. Maybe it's just me. I'm a little klutzy, but I've definitely like missed a volume pedal sometimes. So
I use these picks that glow in the dark, and I reckon every single time I do a gig and it's dark, I hold it up against the light and I look at it and I giggle. It's like 20 years later, I still do it. You just gotta glow in the dark. It's cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's magic.
let's see if we can see through the pixels. But
hey, you got a question, Gabor, from SD Design. What's your favorite vintage pedal or rack?
My vintage. Okay. Well, there's my rack is there. I'm a big fan of the Line. Would you consider them vintage? The Line 6 racks?
Can you buy them anymore?
They're not being made anymore, but you can buy them. I mean, secondhand.
Yeah. If they're not being made, then that's not vintage. Like if you can't buy them new.
All right.
You know?
Well, maybe the Echo, the Line 6 Echo Pro, which is basically the same as that one.
Oh, okay.
In a rack version.
That's
probably one of my favorite racks. Pedal. Oh, vintage pedal. I'm looking at the wall of pedals over here. I really like the one of my DoD Punkifier is one of my favorites.
Nice.
That's a great pedal.
DoD,
I'm a DoD guy. I like DoD, which I really like the DoD volume pedal you've got there, Andrew.
Thank you.
So is that the new
like-
is that the new product coming full circle? Is the DoD topper?
No, so I've had DoD toppers out for a little bit here. I'm supporting a new product. So this is just an example of something I've been doing for a little bit. I actually don't have the new product within reach of me, but it's a pedal topper just for a new unit for a effects unit. I don't think anyone else has done pedal toppers for. So
Cool.
Didn't you already talk about this on the show?
I probably did. As in, I definitely did.
All right, everyone, go listen to Get Offset to get in on the skinny. Find out what's going on.
All right, no, all right, I'll tell you guys. That's all right. You're already listening to me this time. You don't need to go spend another hour of your life listening to me again.
But you should. But you should.
You should. I'm a really
Everyone
terrible
should.
salesman. I really got to work on that. All right,
We
so
got
here,
one person waiting to join. You've been here the longest, Light Night, so I'm gonna.
I'm out. Hey, it's been a blast, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining. I love it.
No problem.
You didn't even get to finish saying bye.
I know. I'm sorry. It was lag. It sounded like he was done. Welcome, Pete.
Hi. Can you hear me
He was
okay?
finally in here. There was someone else waiting, and I didn't get him in fast enough. So sorry, whoever that was. But yeah, welcome to the show, Pete. I like your giant glass that you've got there. What's in that?
Is that one of those
now.
ones where the girls sit in when they do the dance?
Bowl.
It's a little bit of tequila.
Oh, nice. And a beer. Yeah, I'm not bringing tequila on the show again ever since last time.
Oh, yeah.
I only
Yeah,
drink
I worry
tequila
about
with
you.
in beer.
what kind of
Tequila in
tequila
beer.
were you drinking last time again?
Oh, just Jose or something awful. It's just people were super chatting me to take shots, and it just got out of control. You know.
Ooh.
Here we go. What do we got?
That.
Show and tell time.
This is my my newest acquisition. This is a Greco.
Oh, fun. Those Grecos
they're
can be
cool.
great.
They're great
Oh
guitars.
yeah. Finally came in from Russia. It only took 2 months to get here.
Wow.
That's quick these days. That's like Amazon speeds right now.
Oh, by the way, I'm the guy that still has to be sent out the stuff. One of the $25 members.
Oh,
yeah.
Pete's
Okay.
the address that I gave you.
Ryan.
Yeah, but that's buried under like 2 weeks of messages between us now, so I'd never be able to find it. Just send
All
me
right.
his
All
address and the other address tomorrow, and I will send out those shirts.
Just put it in the chat now, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, just drop your address. Just say your address right now. What shirt would you like, by the way?
Well, I kind of like the original one, just the 60 cycle home.
Just the logo. Okay.
Yeah.
You got it, boss.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
He's gonna
I
forget.
have a whatever you give me, I'll be happy with. I like Japanese guitars, vintage Japanese guitars. Well, from the 70s to the 90s,
Same
and I have quite a few of them. I got there's a Westbury here. A while back, you were talking about how you liked or you're curious about the Sunburst Westbury, and you thought, should I get into these? Yes, you should. These are really great guitars.
I've seen a few of those pop up since then, and I'm like, oh, there it is. But then I look around the room and I'm like, I got too much stuff.
Well, yeah, I've got way too much stuff too.
Yeah, I was the one looking at those pictures you sent, Pete. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's it's what happens when neuroses manifest themselves. So like right over here, I've got another an Aria RS.
Oh, those are cool.
600.
They're great.
Got an Electra down here. Electra Working Man.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Got a couple amps right here. Let's see. Got the Gallian Kruger. And let's see. Got the Dan Electro guitar right over here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Greco
Ooh.
Dan Electro.
That's the Greco
Ah.
Dan Electro.
Huh.
Yeah, they made copies of everything.
And let's see. Got a
Is Greco
two
still
guitars
active?
over here. Pardon?
Is Greco?
Oh, yeah.
I think they are. I think
Oh
they
yeah,
are.
very much. Got a Yamaha. Let's see, just pretty much have guitars
We're getting the
all over
tour.
the place. So I got the West Tones and Ibanez. Got a
Ibanez
Cat.
artists, they're great.
Takaminis. Some more Aria Pros. They're
Dang.
artists.
They're a whole
Vantage Bass.
Is that a vintage?
Madeiras. Oh, here are some more Westburys.
Well, I can't
Holy
get them
moly.
because you've got them all.
Holy moly!
Let's see, we've got some Arias over
I thought I had a
here.
problem.
More Arias and
Oh wow!
Electras. Oh, here. By the way, mini guitar.
Yeah.
Oh
boy.
yeah, that's the Aria, right?
Yeah, Aria. So I've got a lot of the Electras, the the MPC guitars. Les Paul type guitars. Got one of the Epiphone Scrolls.
Oh, cool.
Oh wait, you've got an Epiphone scroll. Let me see that thing. Go back to that. Sorry, I was looking away. Yeah, nice. I
very
walked
cool.
away from one of those way too young in my guitar playing life. It was in a pawn shop, and I was like, oh, that's crazy looking. I always remembered it, and then I didn't realize what it was until years and years later. I wish I'd bought it. It was super cheap in a pawn shop somewhere.
Got some old Arias here.
I
Oh,
almost
that
bought
looks cool.
one of the Ibanez custom agents.
No,
You know,
I
the
don't
Les
have
Paul
a.
shape, and it's got the scroll on the headstock.
Oh yeah.
It does.
I was actually considering one of those recently. Here's some more.
It never
guitars right
stopped.
here.
Gee,
Custom agent, they're cool. They're great.
where do you sleep? Do you sleep
Washburns.
on guitars? Like,
And of course, you
Holy moly,
gotta
that's
have
such a
the tiger stripe. I don't know how I lived this long without having a tiger stripe guitar.
Lynch.
you should be the one with a guitar show. Look at you.
Wowzers.
Well, maybe that's got a nice.
That's the
This
next
was my
step.
first Telecaster.
Yeah.
A Pan.
I'm putting my guitar back in shame.
I went and picked up like
There's
my one Japanese guitar. I've got the Starfield. That
Is that really the only Japanese guitar you
well,
own?
I've got the MIJ Jaguar.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But this is more Japanese than that.
Yeah.
There's one of the Electra MPC Outlaws.
Man.
Here is an Aria Pro 2 Buckaroo. It's I think it's a 77.
Chish.
So got quite a few, and that's
Wowzers.
Yeah,
that's just
you've
that
got
room.
And that's just on that floor.
This is the rest of them all done.
Upstairs is all the.
Well, that's the hallway, guys. Let's go out into the dining room.
Wow.
I thought that was the walk-in closet.
All right.
But that's that room.
Hey, Malcolm, thanks for joining us. We got someone else waiting. I'm going to cycle them in. It is great talking to you.
Yeah.
Oops. I feel terrible booting people before they talk.
No.
We got
Hey.
Michael here. Hi, Michael.
Hey.
We also got Andy, the guitar geek, waiting, but we'll keep him waiting. We don't have to.
Loser.
Andy, yeah, he doesn't.
What a terrible name.
How are you doing, Michael? Good to meet you.
Hi, Michael.
Can you hear us?
Sorry if I'm kind of not paying attention. My connection's pretty bad.
Oh, mine too.
Is the audio okay? Can you
It's
hear
Yeah.
us or no?
it's everyone on that
all right.
side. Their connection's bad. Is the.
Okay. I'm running off of data right now because my Wi-Fi is straight trash.
Oh, cool.
so-
Is that-
okay.
Is that one of the Ibanez Les Paul recordings?
Actually, it's a Greco.
Oh, Greco is
and I got this from I got this from Pusheen.
No
Oh,
way.
dang.
Cool.
Mike and Mike's
Nice.
Friggin'
Mike
Mike.
and Mike's Guitar Bar. I've got a few guitars from them, including a double neck Aria SG.
Do you live up there? Is
Wow.
that your deal?
Pardon?
Do you live up by Mike's and Mike's?
No. Just
Oh.
ordered it on from Reverb.
Gotcha.
Ah, cool. What you got there, Michael?
This is my Partscaster type thing. It's like the one closest to my desk anyway. It's a made Mexico fender neck that I sanded all the way down. A Squire bullet body, which I did not know before I put this thing together, that the bodies are way thinner.
Yeah.
than the fender ones. So it
Yeah.
was kind of a mix, putting the bridge in and everything. But I got it working. I use it for everything. For my school jazz band, I use this.
Is the bridge block sticking out the back with it being a lot thinner?
Yeah, it's just a hair. What I had to do is Dremel out a little tiny bit of the cavity.
Yes.
Not the cavities. My bad.
The cover.
Cavity cover. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So So I have a humbucker in the bridge that I did a few nights ago. Because I had the 3 single coils in it before, which I liked, but it was just too loud. Because I already have a Les Paul with P90s, which I don't need much loud. I don't need all that buzz in my life. So, So great for me. So yeah, that's my thing.
Dude, that is
Cool,
awesome.
man.
I love that.
I had a guitar that came with a really crappy Floyd Rose knockoff, and then I broke part of it and I replaced it with a real Floyd Rose. The real Floyd Rose had a much longer block in the back, and so the block just stuck out like a good 1/8 of an inch, and even farther with the springs attached to it. And I would leave the back cover off of it, and when I was using the Floyd, I could feel the block rubbing against my hip,
Yeah,
Okay.
especially with the pick guard, because it's a crap. Because that thing is thrown together. It has black hardware, but then weird, and then one of the tuners isn't black, and then just weirdness. But yeah, and the pick guard, and I was watching your the Squire Jazzmaster video today, and I same exact issue. The scrolls. I'm stuck on Pete's episode.
Sure.
Anyway, the screws just don't line up, so I had to drill them out and then put dowel them, glue, and then mess essentially. So, but yeah, that's my parts guitar. And funny enough, that is my best playing guitar, even though it's so weird and it's weird, but it plays great.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing what you can get away with when you're just hobbling stuff together, and it's wow,
exactly. I know, right?
this just
And,
works somehow.
Yeah, somehow it just does. I'm not trying to hog all the attention here. If anyone
No, you're the new one in the
Hog away.
Dude, you got an awesome guitar there. You put a lot of love into. I love hearing you talk about that.
Absolutely.
thank you. If you would allow me to talk about one more
Yeah,
thing.
do it.
So I have this thing. I'm a Strat guy. I know I'm boring. But yeah, so you got that Galeri in the mail. Actually, it's a Larry now. This Galeri Stratocaster that I picked up for $50 off of eBay. Pretty garbage. A lot of the cheaper Strat style guitars, the pickups and electronics, actually quite good. Very almost to the level of Bullet Squire, which I'm stand by. I absolutely love Bullet Squires because they're one of the best cheap guitars out there.
Totally.
Because they come set up great. They're anyway. But yeah, so I need to file down this nut because the action is way too high, and so I don't really play this thing much. The neck is extremely thick, and I think that's why I kind of like playing around on it. But Excuse me. It's just, yeah. So I need to file down the nut. I need to give it a proper setup because these things come absolute like that high out of the box for actions. So yeah. So that's this thing.
Mine didn't even
at the moment.
Mine wasn't even branded
it is,
glary. It's just blank, but it's that same body style as all the glary.
That was from Burning Fire model. So I was like,
yeah. This is like, it's so light. It's like feels like holding cotton candy. This guitar body.
Yeah.
It's so freaking light. I've never picked up a guitar body that was like just this non-existent.
I found that like what I sorry, speaking is kind of hard.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. What I kind of attract to is the very lighter guitars. That's why. 1 second. I play this freaking thing.
Yeah.
So
another piano.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've posted it a few times on the Facebook group, so if that matters. It's the only offset guitar that I have at the moment, and that just fell. All right, cool.
And the other guitar just broke.
The only slightly offset that I have.
I like offsets.
They're cool. I love the look of them.
I always wanted one of those in like the lime green that they came in.
It's not like his channel is named Get Offset or anything. No. Anyway, but this thing is very light. It's chambered, and I didn't know that, so that's cool. But yeah, so that's my Dana lecture. Y'all can speak now. I know I'm not important.
Well, let's give Pete another couple of minutes to tell us about what he's holding now, and then we're gonna boot you, Pete. Sorry, and we'll let Andy in and keep going through people who are joining. So what are you holding, Pete? What do you got there?
I am holding well, this just came in today. It's a Washburn A20. Cool.
I love the double creams in there.
Oh, that's a Washburn body shape. There used to be an A5 on Craigslist locally, and I've been literally just kicking myself for years for not. I think it had a Ron Burgundy sticker on it too.
That's a beautiful one with that flame on there.
That looks great. The inlays are cool too.
Yeah, I've got actually a cream one coming in tomorrow. I think
what do you do with all these? You just keep acquiring, inquiring. Is there like a game plan for all these guitars eventually? Because well, got a lot.
Well, a while back you had discussed about about stocking up on 80s guitars. If I had a warehouse, I would just load it up with 80s guitars, and yeah, I mean, they hold their value. The ones that I have had already, I bought cheap, and they've gone up in value. Not that I bought them for investment purposes. Sure. I bought them because I like them. I like the way they look. I just like to look at guitars. It's like, that's cool. Hey, just hang it up on the wall. I can look at it.
Yeah.
I like to play too, but I like to look at them. I like to work on them. So it keeps me occupied.
Sure.
And
that's good.
They don't really lose their value.
That's really the thing about all these guitars. It's like you can always sell them and get your money back. It's like it seems like this hobby is kind of expensive sometimes, but then like if you're just buying and reselling, it's like it's just kind of this circular kind of thing where it's like, oh, I spent $400 on that, then I sold it for $350, then I spent $500 on another thing, I sold it for $550, and it's just kind of like treading water, to a certain point.
It's a rental fee.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rental fee. All right. Well, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna boot you, Pete, and then I'm gonna get Andy in here, and then at some point we're gonna call it a night.
Nice to meet
Bye,
you.
Pete. Thanks for calling in, and I'll get that shirt to you. Hopefully tomorrow. I'll get Steve to send me the address again.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll get Andy in here. see what Andy's got to say. Good morning, Andy.
You should just boot him out right away.
Just immediately gone.
And bye now.
See ya. Good morning, good evening, guys. Hello.
What time is it
man.
there? It's got to be pretty early.
It is 20 minutes to 8 in the morning, which is actually pretty late because, Dad.
Yeah, Dad. That's not too bad.
But it's a historic moment. It is the first time that my kids have stayed at their grandma's, so I have no kids right now. And I'm using that time to spend it with you.
Oh, the wife is all by herself. But wait
She's
a minute,
upstairs
honey.
cleaning.
I gotta talk to these other guys.
Honey, you keep cleaning. I got important business to do.
Oh yeah,
I gotta
very
go
important
talk to
business.
Steve.
That's right. What's up, Andy? How you doing?
I'm good. I missed you, man.
I know.
Oh,
It's been a
you missed
while.
Steve. Okay.
Well, you guys hung out yesterday? 2 days ago?
A couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I've had a blast listening to you, Michael. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was great, yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. That was a good stories.
Everyone who's calling in to this, I call it calling in, tuning or joining into this is like destined to have their own shows.
Thank you.
This is how we get you. Like in a year, you're all gonna have podcasts and YouTube channels.
It's true.
Are you like some kind of 60 Circles syndication network?
Oh man, I wish. Oh, we lost him.
Oh,
it was good.
Andy scared him away.
Yeah, he was talking about having internet trouble, so he.
We were talking about that a few years ago, like the whole idea of like, is this a format that we haven't tied down enough that we could just like because React Channel, I don't know if they were successful, but the Fine Brothers tried to friggin' patent reaction videos. Where if you like made a YouTube video called like so and so reacts to a thing, like you had to pay them a fee.
No one has anything
happy
to say to Steve. We're like,
I
you're Steve.
I have no reaction, and therein lies the issue with the business model.
I haven't reacted to anything in years. It's illegal.
What I'm saying, Ryan, is you should be suing Fluff over affordable videos.
Shots fired.
Wow.
You know what? He commented on something I did. On Instagram. He commented on Instagram. He's like, he is in my audience. I mean, we have met in person. Me and Ryan Bruce have hung out. I mean, like Andy and I were talking about, he was interviewing me the other day, and we both agreed that, I mean, there's not a lot of ground to cover with all this stuff. We're all going to cover each other's same things. We're all going to compare Metal Zones to Tube Screamers eventually.
Well, and somebody did point out that like,
yeah, we all copied you.
Somebody did point out that he ordered those from Wish, so he could have been planning this out like 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
They just arrived 3 days ago, and he put it together really quickly.
Exactly. Yeah, I ordered. I've been waiting.
You're not going to like my videos next week.
What's that?
You're not going to like my videos next week.
Next week, Andy unboxes a Starcaster, the Fender MTG Tube Tremolo, and does the entire Kamai's lineup.
And grows a beard.
Bleaches my hair.
One of us. Hey, I've got a video coming out tomorrow where I put a new vibrato in my Jazzmaster and a green anodized pickguard. But hey, totally unrelated.
I'm betting, because I did that affiliate link on that green anodized pickguard. I'm betting, real time and money that's going to be the next hit thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's going to be the next hot trend. Sold out on eBay for years because I did a video on that.
Okay, calm down.
It's not at all ugly or weird. That's what people want, right? Brown and green together at last.
It's a bit weird, but it's it's all right.
I saw the really thumbnail and just said no.
Well, I think
the white knobs and switches are great though. They look really good.
They are. I think I was intentionally my frame of mind when I bought it was like, yeah, that'll be ugly. Let's do something ugly. I messaged it to Mike and to Steve, and it's like, is this cool or is this ugly? And Steve was like, "Porque no los dos."
Yep. I probably answer that to like at least a good 60-70% of either or questions.
It really is the perfect answer. For the non-Spanish speakers, it means why not both? It's from a commercial.
CC.
No, I like the color green though. I mean, I just got this today. I don't know.
Ooh, a pan boy.
I did.
Ooh.
I traveled very far. I actually bought it from Emily, my co-host.
I was going to say that pedal looks familiar.
Yeah, it's got the same exact scratch and everything. Uncanny. No, she was done with it. I was like, well, I'll take that. And so
I've always been like, when they come up local, I've always just sat there on edge, like, is this the day that I go and buy one? Am I going to finally have one? And I just never.
See, here's the thing: is I'm just flabbergasted that Boss replaced this with the TR2. Don't get me wrong; I love the TR2. It is a standard for a reason, but stereo, pan, more.
It does
Why?
more.
It does more. It's way cooler.
It's probably just too heady. It's too much for most people that want a tremolo. People who want a tremolo, for the most part, are just like, I just want my volume to go up and down. They don't want, because the tremolo pan, you can do weird creative stuff with it, and they don't want to think that way.
And no one likes to be creative, right?
No.
What was that you're saying about like tube screamers and metal zones, or
people?
Yeah, you guys tune in next week as I shoot out a tube screamer and a muff, and it's just a muff and another muff. And
no, what I'm going to do with this?
I need a pen.
In 2 days, it's coming.
So the best way to treat a pedal such as this is with my favorite mentality. Overkill is the best kill. So here's what I'm planning on doing with it, at least to kick off, is I've got a wet dry wet board set up. So a dry center and then the stereo wets, pan hard left and right, and just throwing this right at the very end of the wets.
Yeah.
And just getting that full choppy right behind the dry center, just for full wall of sound.
Thick. It's like, if people aren't throwing up, then you didn't do it right.
Oh, exactly. They're like, which side?
Yeah.
Every time I do a tremolo video, there's at least like 4 or 5 comments from people who are like, yeah, I had to stop listening because it was making me feel ill.
That means you did it right.
Exactly.
Not that I had any doubts. I'm not saying I doubt.
I mean, that's every other video too. Usually people stop watching because they just feel sick to their stomach and they can't handle it anymore.
There's usually someone who questions your education, your religion,
and the sexuality.
There's a lot of those lately.
I can't tell if it's an insult or if it's flirting sometimes.
There was one actually off of last week's episode that's like, oh, on the podcast. That was like,
no, my kids are there. No,
that was like, you guys sound like a gay couple chatting before you fall asleep, and it's like, I saw that and I'm just like, do you not have friends? Like,
yeah. Sorry that you've got no one in your life that you're remotely close to.
I think that's beautiful.
It is.
Like,
it's wonderful to have close relationships with people.
It's not like we're sharing secrets. We're talking about hobbies.
Yeah, we're talking about freaking guitars.
I talk to most of my friends as if we're about to go to sleep in the same bed. That's how close we are.
Yeah. And
we're in the same bed.
Whisper deep in their ear, and it's just really uncomfortable and sweaty.
It's like, yeah, I was gonna do a video on cheap pedals. Oh yeah, me too. No.
Tomorrow I'm thinking about just showing what how a set of 12 gauge strings would sound different from a set of 9s. Like, dude, give me some space.
I'm trying to go to sleep. Green pick guards suck. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Why are you in here?
Andrew, could you maybe do like an ASMR video with that trem?
I probably could.
Oh, do you have a dog?
I do. I have cats.
Okay, you could put them in the middle and then call their name and then pan it and watch them do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's too good.
I'd watch the heck out of that.
Well, with a cat, you're just going to watch them not care in both directions.
That really needs to have a dog. Cats aren't responsive to that.
No.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a dog cat, so he'd be fine.
Ooh,
What?
a dog cat.
This is
Not a cat
We're
dog.
Austrian thing.
And
No, he's
drinking,
not a cat dog because that's a trademark.
And he's drinking cough tea right now as well.
We discussed it. He's more dog than cat, even though he is a cat.
Grant in the chat referenced the other thing that you got this week, aside from us, the two of us being gay together, as somebody wanted to know if you were autistic.
Gonorrhea.
Which
autistic. Is that a good thing to say? I feel
yes, it is.
No, I feel like there's like a, I don't know where it's going with that. It's late.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
I hope this part doesn't get published to YouTube.
I can't run for office anymore thanks to that moment.
Ryan Burke is canceled. 60 Oklahoma yelled this to me.
Yay!
Success for Andy.
I did it. Those YouTube accounts were worth it.
No, I think what I was trying to say is that, there's been a lot of people in my life that are very dear to me that are wonderful people that are autistic, and it's like, why ever make that a thing that you use that to insult people with? Like, it doesn't make any damn sense.
People are strange.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting
especially when you're stranger.
now. All right, Jim Morrison. I'm looking forward to Jim Lessison.
Oh my gosh, that was bad.
Oh no. I could have stayed in bed.
I was on the couch just before. I was laying down on the couch just before. On that note, I'm going to have to run because my kids are home and I got to make dinner soon. So it's dinner time where we are in the future.
11 p.m. Man, what are you talking about?
Remember the future? No, it's almost 4 p.m. on Friday the 29th where I am. So I'm in the future.
The kangaroos are hungry.
The kangaroos, they're just sitting around all the time out there. So I got to hunt one and then put it in the oven. That's.
Now, do you stuff those, or is it redundant to stuff a kangaroo?
No, you get one with a joey inside, and it's pre-stuffed.
Oh, now that's dark.
And on that note,
Gabor is canceled.
Crikey.
Bye, Gabor.
Thanks for having me, guys. See you guys.
Yeah.
It's like we could stop you from being on the show. Well, I guess I let people in.
I mean, literally, you are the gatekeeper.
I am the gatekeeper. Which of you is the key master?
I feel like Rick Moranis right now. I was asleep a while ago, so I feel pretty 80s crazy character in a movie.
Is he the crazy character? He's like the nerdy character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not the comic relief, but he's certainly the 80s
comic
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nerds are funny, right? In
Nerds
the 80s.
are hilarious.
They tend to be, usually. Sometimes.
Andrew's on the edge. He's not so sure. He's not sold on nerds.
It depends. It really depends. Sell me. Go.
I like how we
your chance.
discovered that Gabor was the source of all the extra noise.
Including the echo.
Oh, yeah.
It's silent now.
It's kind of weird. It's making me uncomfortable.
Good riddance, right? Right, guys?
Three little monkeys.
What do you guys think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Great movie.
Late era Rick Moranis.
Great movie. I thought
was
you were
it
gonna talk
really
about
late
the
era?
reboot.
Yeah, like he didn't keep working too far after the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise. What did you say about Andy?
I thought you were going to talk about the reboot.
No, I wouldn't.
They're rebooting it, and Rick Moranis has confirmed he will be in it.
What?
Yep.
I hadn't heard that.
Oh yeah, I got this thing called the internet.
What are they even going to shrink this time or blow up?
Well,
Or make
a
regular
reboot would
stuff
insist. I think they're just going to find some more kids
and shrink them.
Shrink the heck right out of them.
There's no more kids. Only Zool.
It's gonna be all CG, and it's gonna lose the magic of those practical effects. Like that's why I was thinking about. I was thinking about this earlier today because I was watering the garden and filling up the troughs in between the rows with water, and it was forming that like thick, muddy dirt soup with like the chunks of stuff floating in it and the foam. And I was looking at it and thinking like, man, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids like nailed the water scenes with just like the viscosity of the water and everything like that, and the color and the foam and everything. Like they nailed it. Like those practical effects were incredible, just incredible. And you're not going to get that with a CG version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You're not going to get the freaking like giant cookie where they're ripping off the chunks of cookie and you can see the crystals of sugar in it and stuff. They're gonna cheat it, I just found out about this new movie like 2 seconds ago, and I'm already criticizing it.
Well, they apparently
it's like, Honey, I Shrunk the practical effects.
Apparently, they only know that he's in it. They don't know like what he will be doing in it.
He's gonna make a shrink ray.
I'm saying they're calling it a soft reboot.
What's a soft reboot?
I can't believe you fact checked me.
No, like because I heard about this a while ago. That this movie was happening, but apparently a soft reboot is when you kind of like revamp. So technically, like I think the like all of the American Godzilla movies would be considered soft reboots. Because you're not rebooting like the main even like the I think technically the female casting of Ghostbusters might technically be a soft reboot.
Oh, it's gonna be like Rick Moranis is in it, but they're gonna act like this is the first time this has ever happened.
Actually, the next Ghostbusters movie that's coming out, the one that ignores the all-female cast one, is like a textbook soft reboot, because this is saying reboots allow directors and producers to cast a new set of younger actors for the familiar roles to attract a younger audience, which is 100% what that movie's doing.
Well, the new Ghostbusters is going to acknowledge the existence of the original Ghostbusters.
Right, but it's like potentially rebooting the idea of it.
A new cast.
With like all their kids, basically.
Right. Welcome to Movie Talk, the movie podcast.
Sounds good.
What is this, 60 frame per second?
It doesn't work.
You're really trying that syndication bit, aren't you?
Vlad, welcome to the show. We haven't given you
hello.
How are you doing, man?
Oh, hey, it's Vlad.
Hello.
How's breakfast?
Good. Just standard oatmeal stuff, and yeah, I'm kind of tired from the week already.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. What did you have for breakfast, Andy? You're in time zone.
What do you think? What do you think a guy like me has for breakfast? Come on, you tell me. Stay mysterious.
Some kind of German granola mix, a little cup of yogurt, a treat, like some sort of like Nutella sort of treat, and maybe something cold out of the fridge, like a leftover sausage or like a sliced piece of chicken breast or something.
It does sound very, very German to me.
How close was I?
You got it pretty close on the granola thing. It was a muesli, but I haven't had it yet. I made the bowl, got the message from you, and thought, you know what? I'm going to go. This is so important right now. This is the most important thing in my life. On the first day my kids are not there when I wake up, I'm going to leave that bowl of muesli there. I'm not even going to put the milk in because it'll go all soggy when I get back. Yeah. And I'm going to go down and see my friend Steve. That's what I thought.
No, to be clear to everyone at home, I didn't message you directly. I put a general message out into the world, and you saw that.
You fact checking me, right, dear Andy? My life's not been the same since we chatted the other day. I would really like to relive that experience. Is there any chance you could skip your granola and chicken from the fridge and come straight on the podcast and hang out?
We were supposed to get invite. I had to hack my way into this. You got invites?
I just opened my browser and this was here, so I don't know how I ended up here.
That is German efficiency at its finest.
I have some sort of like auto sign just set up. Like my homepage is just streaming.
I wish this was like the homepage of the internet. Every time someone turns on the internet, this is just what they're treated to. It's just whatever happens to be happening on my channel.
This is why you're supposed to put a sticker over your webcam when you're not using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually had that kind of scare moment about a week ago. My wife started yelling me to the living room like she has like this green light on her MacBook, and she couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Like she thought like all of their browsers and everything were closed, but there's still like the green suspicious light telling that the webcam is on. And like there was somewhere there was like a tiny corner somewhere of one of the browsers where for some reason it had the webcam active. And that was kind of creepy.
That is a little creepy. It's a lot creepy.
I mean, we managed to shut it down, but like since then we've had like VPN and proper like stuff enabled just to walk around these. It's creepy.
They're watching us, man. Whoever they are, they're watching.
They're watching.
And here we are just volunteering.
Yep. Sign me up.
We don't have to do this show. We just have to leave the computer on in the same room and we're doing a show for somebody.
We just need it, like, there's this hope in the back of my mind that like if I get lost, that like everyone will be like, oh, we can't find him, and then Bill Gates will be like, I know where he is.
I never stop watching him.
That's what the microchips are for, right?
Yeah. Oh, but his phone, the power hit 0 and he disappears. Like, you only think it hit 0 because that's what we want you to think.
Right. There's always like a 50% reserve battery. Just for cracking.
It's like printer ink or toothpaste. There's always just some left. It's just going to keep going forever. No one knows.
It's the gift that keeps on tracking.
Yeah. No, you don't even have to have your phone on. If Bill Gates wants to find you, he'll just do the Batman thing where he uses everyone else's phones to like make a sonic image of the entire world.
No, you guys have the wrong billionaire. It's Elon Musk. Let's be honest.
Oh, geez.
True. Hell true.
Let's be honest. If we're going to pick a billionaire here, it's going to be criminal mastermind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's kind of he's like flown off the rails lately.
Lately?
Yeah. I mean, like he's always been wackadoodle, but like he's gone next level.
Yeah, but that's Cybertruck, man. Come on. I'd let him do anything.
I kind of like the truck.
Would you let him name your kid?
No.
Yeah.
I could already have
no. Yeah, why not? They've already got real legal names, so
yeah, take a stab at it, Elon.
Go on, go for it, Elon.
Good luck.
I'm just waiting when the big Elon versus Bill Gates fight will erupt all across the world. Sending drones and space trucks at each other. And
you guys watch epic rap battles of history?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if they've done it yet, but they totally need to do like three dudes battle where it's like Elon versus Bill Gates versus Bezos.
And then the plot twist at the end is
or something.
Yeah, Steve Jobs at the end comes back from the dead.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't even that rich compared to those guys, I'm pretty sure. But their throw in for the last bit will be someone from history, like Genghis Khan or something like that, who like functionally like owned most of the world compared to, the money that they have. They actually controlled the world, and they'll be like, oh, you just have money? I owned like civilization, like a Genghis Khan or an Alexander the Great or something like that. That would be their twist at the end.
Yeah.
That's my
prediction.
That. Yep. Sounds good.
All I know is Grizzle is taking over the world. So
what's Grizzle?
It's a Parks and Recreation reference.
I didn't get it either. I didn't watch that show.
I got it.
Thank you,
I watched
Steve.
I watched that show and I didn't get it.
It's like the final season kind of a situation for true fans.
Man, that show wasn't good, so people didn't watch.
Shut up. Hey guys, this is Steve. Welcome to 60 Second Hum. Today I'm going to drink some water.
We're doing this now.
I feel like this is like if my voice wasn't like warmed up, I'd break into like a screamo, just but my voice, I can only do that right when I wake up.
Yeah, the normal time when people do that.
Right. Before the phlegm clears.
I'm awake!
I'm picturing that the next thing that people will want to listen to like isn't like this, but it's like somebody just screaming regular things. I found this so relaxing, and then somebody's like, "I'm gonna buy some milk today."
SD Design says, sorry, I couldn't talk for a second. Says ASMR is silly.
Yes.
People say it's silly, but apparently, like some people say that it makes them like tingly all over or something like that. Like it gives them.
Exactly.
That's why there's so much of it on YouTube. We just lost a lot of subscribers, but we gained an interesting new set of them.
We gained a very quiet.
Come on, let's stay on point.
There's a point?
There's a point? Here's a point. I got this today too. Oh, wait. Can you see it?
Oh, the
It's upside down.
I got one of those.
Isn't it?
Everyone getting a camera lately?
So we argued about this with Blake Weiland on our podcast this week, and I proposed that it's the Congra, and Blake and Emily both shouted me down, told me it's the Kangra. I have been vindicated through no fault of my own with a little bit of fact checking. It is the Congra.
What?
It is the Congra.
I mean, it's more fun to say Kangra, though. Can we be honest?
I don't know. It reminds me too much of like Winnie the Pooh characters.
It does sound like a Winnie
It
the
sounds
Pooh.
like you're saying angry. It's got that feel, that mouth feel of angry, Kangra, angry.
The kind of thing that you would shout very loud first thing in the morning when you get out of bed.
Congra.
Now, are you referencing the city? Is that why? Is that why you're saying that?
That would be why, and I'm also just doubling down on this since I've got the opportunity to tell everyone else that they were wrong.
Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, it's a big old brag, big boy brag. I got it right. You guys got it wrong.
A woman telling me that I'm wrong, like how dare Emily? I mean,
yeah, put her in her place. What is that?
Not ASMR.
Steve is getting a phone call. I thought someone was playing a Wii or
Is that how he talks to the phone?
Yes, that's how Steve talks to the phone. You guys don't do that? It's like
Elon Musk does because it's his native language.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Doesn't work.
I can hear you.
What is Steve doing?
I'm involved. I'm so into this.
I was trying to find how Walrus actually pronounces it, but they just go straight into the video.
Well, Walrus famously doesn't know how their own products are pronounced.
What's that?
The slow. They didn't know how that was pronounced. I probably mispronounced it right now. It's probably like sluh or something like that.
Oh, the slow.
It's got the
not slow.
It's got the
Slow?
Oh, the slew. Is it pronounced
So in Finnish, that would be pronounced slö.
slur?
Yeah.
Slur.
They named it that and put the umlauts on it to just be fancy, and they had no idea how to pronounce it. And it was just like, oh,
What does that mean for Motorhead then?
Well, for them,
Motorhead.
I don't know.
Let's officially, from this point on, call it Motorhead. I'm 100% down for that. Oh yeah, I love Motorhead. Big Motorhead fan. Like, dude, that's not what it's got the umlauts on it. This Motorhead.
Their hit single, Ass of Spads.
I wish he sang it that way. So bad.
Great. Now I'm gonna have to clear my browser history.
That's too good.
I totally want to be in that band. Mooderhead and just sing all their songs wrong. Imagine the hate you could get.
Raise hell.
I feel like Mooderhead is just everything has to have a bovine reference. instead of raised hell, it'd be raised hell.
Get it, guys? Cows, they moo. Okay, how do we say this? Blue Oster?
Ooster.
Ooster cold?
Feels pronounced Oster.
Blue Oster cold. Oster. Did I roll my R's right? Oster.
Yeah. That's good. That's
a
good.
little too much, huh? I'm getting a little.
In Austria, it's Ooster.
Ooster. Blue Ooster head.
Ooster.
All right, a couple more of these, and I think we can take on Worcestershire sauce.
It's not Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, Worcestershire.
And your German is better than mine. How is it pronounced properly?
Do they have that over there across the pond, guys? Worcestershire sauce or Worcestershire?
Yeah, because it's from Worcester, in England.
Is that a place? I don't know.
Yeah.
Worcestershire is a county in
Is
the
that
beautiful
where,
country
is
of
that where
the
hobbits
UK.
come from?
What?
Is that where hobbits come from?
No, that's just
Stop
the
it.
Shire.
The Lord of the Rings was written about a place that I used to live, my hometown, the Forest of Dean.
Is that where all the orcs are from? Is that where
Some
you
of
come from?
Some of my ex-orcs, yes.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm leaning so hard into dipping Andy right now. It's not nice.
I feel like I should know more about this. I used to live in England.
What?
Where did you live?
I lived in Surrey.
Ah, sorry.
Sure.
Surrey, where did Andrew live?
Sorry about that.
Joke, guys. I only joke there. Alexa,
I love ribbing people like that. It's fun.
Alexa, Siri.
Where is it?
I just screwed up everyone's life. When the iPhone first came out, I went to a restaurant with my wife, and our server, our waitress, had her name tag on it, and her name was Siri. And we were like, "How much do you hate life right now?" And she's like, "So much."
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like, I'm going to change my seriously. Come on. I haven't even been paying attention to the comments over here. It's probably good stuff.
Kevin
Are we live on YouTube?
Kevin got his shame flute shirt. Yeah, we are live on YouTube, Andy.
Oh man, I should have worn pants.
Optional. Don't ask how I came to that conclusion.
And I'm
If
British,
you-
so that means something different.
I'm
20
wearing
20
sweatpants right now. Just your regular old tie in the front deal.
Ah, nice.
I didn't even put on my good khakis.
How undad of you.
I know. It's not a real podcast unless you got the khakis on. Dockers.
That's when you know it's official.
Vlad just messaged me on Facebook. Sorry. Hey, Vlad. Yeah, I hate him too. No, it's not
Didn't
funny.
you notice the "Don't tell this to Ryan" all caps at the
Oh,
beginning of the
I
message?
missed that bit. Sorry, I missed that bit.
I know, typical Andy.
And I'll have to check the date on that. And sure, I'm happy to go with a 60 cycle hum syndication. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get back to you on that.
I'll send you guys the franchise program. It's got all the details in there. It's a big packet, you know.
Great.
Yeah.
It is a big packet.
Don't worry about having to maintain any sort of quality because there isn't much. So
Okay.
yeah,
that might be a problem. Could be an issue.
But what I was going to say is I think that we should officially declare Dockers as the official pants of podcasting. And there
I
should
can't
be
get behind that.
We should make a little advertisement for Dockers. Be like the pants of podcasts.
I have to check what are those pants because I don't know.
I've just googled it. It's just trousers.
They're just an American brand of beige pants.
Yeah.
Okay. Dockers. It's a chino. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually have one of the pair of those.
Well,
I'm not going to go and swap to them for this though. Too lazy to do
has
that.
a pair of those in case they have to wear a polo shirt. Like that's just one of the
with the they have to be pleated. Got it. If you're gonna go for Dockers, you got to go all the way.
Yes, it's a mystery thing. You got to leave something up to the imagination. That's what the pleats are for.
What's going on right now?
I'm talking about hiding your genitals with the pleats.
Is that what those are for?
Yeah, that's what they're for. And for making the front of your crotch area look like a huge circus tent. That's what pleats are for.
That's a big pleat.
It's a big pleat. Hey, some of us need a big pleat, okay? We've got a lot to hide.
I feel depleted.
Hide, I mean not very much, and that's what we're hiding.
And that's why I wear skinny jeans.
Whoa, big brag.
Hey, I'm not going to show you guys. You're not going to see my pants. I won't stand for it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm having such a good time right now.
Big pleats. Andy, you reading the chat yet? Says Pooh Ninja.
I didn't even know I was live on YouTube. And then someone talked about chinos, and I was on YouTube and went straight to chinos.
Beautiful.
Welcome to YouTube. We're in this almost 3 hours now.
I know.
Well, I was weighing the.
I hope my kids are asleep.
With my wife today of Steve coming over and us returning to traditional podcasting. I was like, on one side, I'll have to edit for multiple hours the next day. On the other side, we stay up until midnight every Thursday just talking to people.
I mean, we could get together and just still live stream it.
Yeah.
I could just do it off my phone.
Yeah, I don't know how. I got to figure my internet out. I got to hit up my internet provider this week and figure out what.
We'd have to hook up an external camera that could do wide, because otherwise, like I couldn't use my phone because you'd get gnarly echo.
No, we just still use the laptop. I need. We're getting into technical, boring stuff here now that no one cares about.
You guys don't like technical, boring stuff?
Hey, let's you guys want to talk about camera lenses for 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that? Let's get Henning in here.
I don't do less than 45 minutes on lenses, sorry.
For me, it's hour or nothing.
All night long, I'll talk about lenses.
We can talk about our favorite clip-on tuners.
What are cameras?
I've got a clip-on lens. Check this out, guys. It's going to blow your mind. That's what I've been.
Whoa! Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I actually have mine somewhere, but it will show more of the mess behind me, so I'm not going to use it.
It kind of does.
It looks like what?
It looks the same.
No, watch. Look at the size of my head. Watch the size of my head. Now I'm bigger.
Okay. All right.
Now,
why didn't you just move the camera like 2 inches back?
I got to type on this thing, man. I've got to do things. Yeah, I could. But then I'm like far away from it. And then I got to move the mic closer.
Yeah, keep going.
Very funny. Oh, look at you with your little gadget. What are you teasing your next video there? What do you got?
Oh, no.
I think that's some kind of sex toy.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
We weren't supposed to see that.
I'm a fiddler.
You got something to stick in every one of those holes? That's pretty incredible. Or does it loop through a couple times?
It's a progression chart, and I'm working my way off the first hole.
Glorious.
What?
Well, no, it's like bubble wrap. Like you're supposed to stretch out each hole like consecutively. You know, it's like popping it. You know, it's a tool to like try to break the rubber band. You know.
I don't want to talk to you guys anymore.
Maybe I've overthought this.
There's nothing I could say right now that I wouldn't immediately regret.
I'm still trying to figure out where bubble wrap fits into this.
You know, it's like you're trying to pop something.
Oh, you know, the bubble wrap.
The joke is you stick your penis in it and then you try to snap the plastic with your erection.
Oh, okay.
Now that I had to spell it out, guys.
How does that work?
Well, some people's penises get bigger.
Oh.
I'm going to need like 3 more copies.
I know.
Oh man, we have these Nespresso machines at work, and they like the company owns them.
How did we get from?
And
Espresso.
I've been drinking like 4 of those a day.
So you're saying that your penis gets bigger because it fills up with espresso fluid?
It's called coffee.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Steve, are you in the camp that believes that pee is stored in the balls?
There's more than one camp.
This is what we get for staying up till 11:30 at night.
There's not even tequila involved.
I know. I finished the sake a long time ago. Oh, ridiculous.
But it's okay, guys. I'm out of this. Now I'm drinking this.
Is it water?
Yeah.
Whoa, Steve has hit the water. Oh my God.
I'm hitting the water hard.
There was also an internet rumor going around. I don't know if it's a rumor or it's a medical fact that you can taste with your balls. You guys heard about that?
Did you ever try it?
Well, I might be doing it.
I did hear the rumor, but I just sort of scrolled past it.
I might be doing it right now. We might all be doing it right now. Tasting whatever our balls happen to be.
I mean, if it would make sense, because if you taste something like for long enough, like eventually you just get used to it. Right.
Like I could be tasting my underwear right now, but if I always had a piece of underwear in my mouth, I would just be like, oh, that's just what everything tastes like. So maybe we could try mixing up brands of underwear and see like if that tastes different.
Well, the nice thing is you don't have to ingest it, so it doesn't have to be like properly edible to taste it. For instance, super glue, you'll thank me later.
Wait, what? Wait. Are you suggesting that people put super glue on their balls?
I take no responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, you can try that, Ryan. I just hope you've been, if you're going to try it, that you've been using your lawnmower.
Sticking to my legs. I can't imagine if super glue was involved. Is this what you guys thought you were in for when you tuned
I was just about to say, like, every time I jump on one of these shows, we never talk about guitars.
Well, it's too late. We did guitar talk the first hour. Now we're in the third hour or whatever.
I was going to talk about guitars, but the only guitars I have are on the wall behind me. I don't have a room full of them and another room. So,
oh,
yeah.
I only have that one. And there's another one right here.
So you have more than one.
The bass, the long boy, the Eastwood.
When we put that shelf there, I told Melissa, I was like, if we put this shelf this low, we can only put basses here. Like guitars will not fit because the shelf is too low. She was like, that's fine. I was like, okay, cool.
Like to drop that bass down low?
Yeah. What? What just happened?
What's that noise? What was that horrible noise? And why is Ryan
There's a cricket.
Do you have crickets in Europe?
No.
Yes. But they don't sound like that.
What do they sound
Austria
like?
isn't part of Europe, so Andy doesn't know.
Is that a dig from the rest of Europe that Austria isn't actually Europe?
I'm not sure it's a real place anyway. It's like, where is it? Nobody knows.
I feel like I have a very decent idea of where Austria is.
Isn't it just between Germany and Italy?
I've seen
Right next to New Zealand.
Next to Switzerland?
I've seen The Sound of Music. You can walk there.
Yeah.
I don't want to upset anybody really here, but I don't care. I'm confused by this whole attempt at digging a British guy who happens to live in between Italy and Germany.
Steve was right. You are between Italy and Germany.
Was I right? I don't know.
I can show you what Austria is. It's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Do you have any Austrian pride? Are you proud to be in Austria?
Because I'm proud to be an Austrian.
At least I know, Andy.
I don't really care about upsetting anybody. I'm happy not to be in the UK.
Whoa! Oh, political.
No, they're just, they're looking for me.
Oh, yeah. For reasons.
I'm happy to be where I am. I'm so cultured that I don't actually consider this a country.
You're a man of the world.
It's my space on the planet.
It's like MySpace.
No, it isn't.
Who's in your top 8 in Austria?
My top 8 what?
Remember MySpace, the site?
Oh, I do now.
Guys, MySpace is the newest, coolest thing in Austria.
Hey, we are 30 years behind. We don't got that yet.
You're about to get it. You're like 5
So
years
excited.
away from getting MySpace. Is that a joke? I don't know anything about Austria other than you can walk there from Germany in The Sound of Music. That's
Austria is a great place. It's got it's responsible for more things than it would like to be, and it's less responsible for other good things.
It's responsible for more things than it would like to be. Does not sound like something you should put on a pamphlet.
That's a really weird descriptor.
Austria, we don't take credit for everything. That's on somebody else.
Yeah. Austria, there are some things we've done that we try to pretend other people did.
My wife is looking at me from the door and probably wondering why I'm being so loud. No? Do you want to come say hi, honey? Nope, she does not.
Ah.
Are you saying good night? Is that what's going on? Okay.
Is Ryan frozen for everybody else or just me?
Just
I'm
you.
saying he's frozen for me too.
Oh, I'm frozen apparently. Honey, my camera's frozen. No one can see what I'm doing.
I can see him.
Here I am.
Well, you're just stuck in this like smiley face.
Can you hear me?
A cat.
That would be my cat. I don't know which cat it is. This is my chance for cat ASMR though.
Get the tremolo pedal.
My wife is peeking over, taking a look at everyone I'm talking to, and she's like, I don't know who these people are.
Oh,
Good night, honey. Did you guys
Well,
see
at
her?
least somebody loves you.
She was in there for a second. I'm surprised she's still awake, honestly. It's 11:30 at night. She should be in bed. I told her to go to bed at 8:30.
What? What does that even mean?
I read her a bedtime story and everything.
I have no context on who you were sending to bed. I was chasing my cat.
My wife.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh. She's coming in to poke me with a broom. I'm in trouble, guys. I'm getting the broom. That's filthy. And you're putting that on my face. I'm going to put that on the pillow in our bed.
I have to watch on YouTube because, I can't see you're frozen. So I'm reacting like 6 seconds later. This is fun.
That's so weird.
Ryan just unfroze for me.
Yes,
it wasn't frozen
for
for me.
I don't know
all
why.
at any point.
It does that for me. All of you are like really smooth, lots of pixels. I can see myself great. My wife is
Same for me.
like dick with me now, and she's throwing me balloons and stuff.
Oh yeah. Ryan just moved again. There's the pixel on the top left. Move to the pixel on the top right.
That's horrible.
Is this good?
No. Dude, what are you doing?
I wonder how long I can do this before everyone leaves.
Can I mute him?
You should be able to.
I can't. No, actually, I can't because it's StreamYard. I'm also a guest.
On StreamYard, you don't mute anyone.
Ryan has all the power.
I have all the power. I can mute all you guys and just do that, and no one can stop me.
Lovely.
Oh man, should we get back to Austria talk? We want to learn about Austria, apparently.
Yeah, sure. Ask me Austrian questions.
Schwarzenegger.
What about him?
I don't know. That was the question.
Have you met him?
It is my lifelong dream to meet Arnold. And that's not related to me living in Austria, though was part of the reason I moved here, just in case.
Just in case.
He
I'd
walks on the street and you can hug him from behind and get kicked.
Ryan, he's not actually in Austria at the moment, but do you know what he said when he left?
What?
I'll be back.
No, he said goodbye.
And that's worse than this?
No, that's infinitely worse.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Get to the chopper!
Ryan over there with Zwei Luftballons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now we're getting it. Now we're going. Austria has quite a healthy luthier scene, actually.
Really?
And Martin Guitars started in Vienna. Not many people know that. But I'm, showing off right now.
And then they moved to where Jesus is from.
Yes.
America?
Nazareth.
Scott.
Steve, you're not being specific enough. Texas.
And I don't want to brag, but actually Finland has most guitar luthiers per capita in the world, I think.
Really?
So,
Dude, there's a ton of stuff going on in Finland. Like,
yeah,
so many builders there. It's ridiculous.
I don't know how they all earn their living, but
You know why it is? Is because they finish everything. The rest of the world doesn't finish their guitars. Huh?
Wow, that was pretty good. That was actually pretty good.
The delivery was point on that one.
Yeah, the only
Yes.
guitars in the world that are finished.
All right. Now you killed it.
No. You kill it by saying Elfin.
Well, hold on. I'm getting a text. I gotta go.
See, I can't see Ryan, and then occasionally these balloon noises come, and it scares me.
it doesn't get any better when you can see him. It's still as annoying. You do need the visuals for that.
Bent Tom is confirming my joke. We finish our guitars. That's gotta be a tagline for one of these companies.
It really has to be.
They're leaving money on the table.
Your guitar search is finished.
Oh, wow.
Andy, don't put that on your face. Ugh. Ugh. I always assume those things were like a rubber, but it looks like it's a hard plastic.
Yeah, this is expert mode.
Oh man.
Oh.
Again, nothing I can say that I'm not going to immediately regret here.
I know, seriously. All right.
Who has a hostage in the background?
I don't think it's me.
Mine are all dead.
All my kids are asleep.
I'm the
At
one in
least
an
you hope
Austrian
so.
basement.
You should regret saying that right now.
I'm pretty sure that joke is somewhat illegal in that country. It has to be.
And that's why he's not allowed back in the UK.
My eyes, my soul. I do genuinely work in a basement in Austria. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, we know. I work in a garage in California, which is kind of the same thing.
Oh man, you're going to be like a billionaire soon.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about to start up a tech company any day now. The moment you walk into a Californian garage, you just start building computers and stuff. It's really weird. You can't avoid it.
That's what I'm doing.
I don't know what
wrong.
happened. I just grabbed a screwdriver and now people are giving me money.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm in the garage. I think I just made a Twitter.
A Twitter.
Unbelievable. Can you believe people pay for this?
Coming to you live and uncensored.
This is what happens when we don't write the jokes out ahead of time.
Like we have the ability to write jokes.
Yeah, I got to get you that email, actually. Sorry, I'm a bit late this week.
We're not supposed to write. Okay, I guess I'll just.
That's actually
hold on. Question from the chat.
Go ahead.
Which one is it?
Is it the one for me?
I'm very confused because it says at Andrew Renard and then it says Andy, your hair always looks so fluffy. What kind of conditioner do you use?
Oh, both of you should answer at the same time.
I don't know is the answer to that. It is a brand that is for curly hair that I can't think what it is. But then I use a special oil called Aran Deluxe or Aran.
Iran?
Not Iran.
Far away.
Aran. Aran. Aran.
Wait, are you putting that?
Aran Anderson.
Are you putting that Scottish soda in your hair?
Aran Brew.
Yeah. Is that what you're using?
Pretty much.
Okay. That explains a few things.
Sure.
What about you, Andrew? What do you put in your hair? Your fluffy hair.
My very fluffy, very matted hair that hasn't been cut in months. I'm not nearly as fancy as Andy. That's why I just go by Andrew, and just head and shoulders. That's really all a guy needs.
Knees and toes.
How often do you use it on your shoulders? Is my question.
See, it's never intentional, but it happens every time.
It's like they knew. They're like, no one else is like highlighting the fact that this stuff ends up on your shoulders. So let's just put that unique selling proposition out there. Like,
you're looking at the store, they're like, nah, there's no way I'm going to use this on my shoulders. That's weird. You get in the shower, you put it in your hair and start to rinse. You're like, oh, my God, this got me.
Legitimately the first time in my life I've ever questioned the name of Head and Shoulders.
I'm blown away. I'm more blown away than when you took that lens off your camera.
I'm shook right now. We have some Head and Shoulders upstairs that my wife bought. I'm gonna go wake her up after this.
She's awake. She's in the chat.
Oh, is she? I'm gonna be like, honey, you're in the chat. Have you ever used it on your shoulders?
Well, I'm so old that I remember when it was just called Head, and they could never advertise that stuff.
And then they put the "and" in, and people were waiting on the edge of their seat, like, what is it gonna be?
Yeah. What a campaign that was!
And oh man, what are they gonna? And they stuck it with it for like a decade.
Yeah, that was. Oh,
my wife is smart. She just said it's to keep the flakes off your shoulders. The flakes come from your head and land on your shoulders.
I thought you were just being obtuse.
Now I got it.
Okay, finally. Now I get it.
Oh, Steve is going to act like he knew all along.
Yeah.
And that's how you become a scientist like Steve. You just act like you knew it.
That's true.
Fake it till you make it. That's how you get rich.
At work today, one of the guys was talking about how his friends had like trivia night, and different people were talking about like trivia nights at bars and stuff. And I just kind of sat there, and then people were like, "Oh yeah, what kind of questions do they have at trivia night?" And they started listing off the questions, and I was just like, "Yeah, I know the answer." So
you've gone out to try to be on Jeopardy a few times, right? Like
I haven't as far. Well, I mean, obviously, I haven't at least made it past the test, but yeah, I at least enjoy taking the test.
Do you think he'll try again now that Trebek's going to be gone at some point? Is he still in there?
Yeah,
I thought he recovered.
He's doing pretty good.
I'm highlighting comment as a little conversation in between SD Design and my wife.
Wait, guys, I actually have like real work to do today. I need to go.
Dude,
I have a call in
almost midnight here.
In a few minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to get out of here and go make one of those peanut butter sandwiches Grant was talking about earlier.
What's he talking
Actually, I'm going to make a ham sandwich.
Ham and peanut butter?
Ham and peanut butter.
Whoa.
The American classic, what we all eat every day. Ham and peanut butter.
Lovely.
And we don't use bread. We use a corn tortilla on one side and a flour tortilla on the other. It's the American staple.
It's not an American staple until it's deep fried. Let's be honest.
You gotta deep fry it. You know, that simple everyday food. Deep fried ham and peanut butter quesadilla.
I think
this was great. I really need to go.
Yeah, we should probably go too. Let's all call it a night because this is.
No, I'm staying. Screw you guys.
I'll leave you here, Andy. You can.
I'll stay with Andy. Andy and Andy, just one-on-one.
Andy's
double Andy.
All right, have fun, guys.
You guys,
that was a real bad joke. I want my breakfast.
Andy and Andy, the Andys.
The Andys.
You guys could do
like in Hot Fuzz.
You could do a mountain podcast.
For the greater good.
All right, I really need to go.
All right. Bye, Vlad.
See you, Vlad.
Bye, guys.
I'm going to end broadcast, and if you guys are left in here doing stuff, then that's fine by me. But I think it's going to close because I believe that everything stops when I
when the broadcast ends. A couple weeks ago, I think I talked to Grant for like an hour after the broadcast ended.
Really?
Yeah, it keeps going. Like the chat, the internal keeps going until you leave. So the broadcast stops.
That makes sense. All right, well, let's stop the broadcast. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching this whole freaking time. I don't get it why you did that. It's bad for you.
See ya.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.